right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are at the Black First Round Table, and we are very hot, and we got a good topic that we're discussing tonight. What must we learn from Kwame Kilpatrick? He was called the first hip-hop mayor. Kwame served 2 terms. Well, he didn't complete the second term. Second term, he wound up having to quit and go to jail. And so we're going to look at that because we got to understand that in our rise, because we will rise, we will get into power. What are the tricks? What are the things that the enemy will use to pull you down? What are the things that you got to make sure that you're standing out front, that you're making sure that you're up on your square? And those who are around you, those who you have around you, how to make sure that you pick the right ones. Because if you have the wrong ones around you, man, they can flip-flop on you, and next thing you know, you behind a cage door and them on the outside laughing. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to look at an interview that Malik Zulu Shabazz did with Geraldo Rivera. Malik Zulu Shabazz, some would consider him a warrior. Some will consider him a statesman. Well, we're going to analyze this video tonight and see where does he fall in, and see did he do what he was supposed to do in this interview, or did he fail? We're going to also be looking at our sister Michelle Williams and her comments and her struggles that she went through when she was a member of the new Black Panther Party. It is all about learning, because we want you all to be able to imagine if you were in this spot, what would you do? See, this is one of the main problems that our people suffer. We don't think about what we could do in these spots. And because you don't think about what you can do in these spots, when given the opportunity to fulfill these spots, we walk away. We turn away and say, no, I ain't getting involved. When in reality, we should take command. We should take charge. So today we're going to be looking at these things. And of course, it's always building, because we believe and know and understand that there is war. There is war, and we want you 1,000% prepared for war. You got to be. You can't be like the days ago and half-ass. You got to be on it. I want to welcome Earth Angel 1105 Remix to the program. Welcome Twin Pyramid to the program. Deacon of Reality to the program. Peace and blessings. We're definitely glad that y'all are here. And on our panel today, we got Brother Isaiah is here, and we have Sister Cassie. And I'm going to go ahead and bring them in. Sister Cassie, what's your opening remarks?
Ooh, we got to learn their tactics. We've got to learn from our mistakes, learn from the past, and improve. We're not learning. We're just continuing to do the same stuff over and over and over. And I remember how way back when we wanted to go into war with Germany, they started saying negative things about Germany, that they was eating babies. We have to learn from that stuff. You got to learn the Killers of the Flower Moon, how they, that's a movie. They did that, and China's doing it now in Africa. We have to realize and understand their tactics, and we're not doing it. For instance, the Flower Moon, how the Indians had all this land. That was the movie. It was a real movie. And in real life, the Indians had the land, right? And what they was doing was marrying the Indians and taking the land. Isn't that doing what they doing in Africa with the Chinese? They marrying them black women. They having babies with them so that those babies can take the land. History repeats itself. Let's learn from the history, okay? So that we don't get taken down like they did in the past. I rest my mic.
Wow, excellent. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah, your opening comments?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, fam, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I truly believe that 9 out of 10, we're going to do the right thing by us, for us. You know what I mean? And to be in control in the upper echelons of government, whether that be the governor on down, the mayor on down, the alderman, which is like the mayor of your county, right, or whatever, and the presidency. All of these spots are pivotal economic levers that can be pulled and pushed and shoved in the direction in which we must go. And once we have that control, political control, the economic fallout from that is beyond measure, because you can what's the word? You can send, dictate, legislate. You can um, put companies that are black owned into pivotal roles that normally that company or those companies would not be a part of, in terms of the infrastructure of the city, of the state, of the nation. So there's a lot of things that can be brought about when you have those political connections. And, like I said before, poor people get a modicum of support and welfare, but in the end, they get their foot in the ass. But if you look at the Arabs I remember this in the late 70s, somewhere. I don't know when it started, but there was on Time magazine or something like that. There was a fallout, so to speak, the beware of the Arabs, not in a bad way, because they discovered oil, so they were becoming billions of dollars. And so when you garner that when you go from being a poor Arab riding camels on a sandbank to riding around in Rolls Royces and what have you, and you got billions of dollars, it's a big difference in how you are treated. And so when I see what is going on now, I think Senegal just cut the head off of France. And so we're going to see an influx of more and more cash within the countries of Africa that's going to reunite itself. And, it's like, what's the name of that animal where you cut it apart and it grows back again? They become more stronger, I guess? Yeah, more stronger. It becomes stronger. That's exactly what is going on now. And once that kicks off, there's nothing that's going to stop us from doing what we need to do as a unit and individual speaking, because one is the same. One can't do without the other. And so, I really believe and I really know that our political, economic, and spiritual path are going to come together in such a force and in such a way that it will manifest the things that we want to see within our communities, within our states, within our country, single country, that will benefit Black folks as a whole. And I'll throw back at you.
Brother Isaiah, something was going on with your mic towards the end of your comments. You started to, sound like you're in the Matrix. Your voice is not coming over clear like it was when you first started.
You may have to go out and come back in. Yeah, I don't hear him now. He's on mute.
Okay.
Say something, Isaiah. Brother Isaiah, try to say something so we can see if it's cleared up. Okay, he's froze now. So, Sister Cassie, before we get into the first video, you talked about in your opening that we have to learn the tactics. So are you of the thinking that the enemy doesn't change his tactics, that they use the same tactics that they used, yesterday? They'll use them again in 2 to
Absolutely.
3 weeks?
Absolutely. They'll keep using them because they're working. They still work. COINTELPRO is not going anywhere. Just like that brother, he said has somebody in the, the recording got out. Okay,
Right.
that's COINTELPRO. Okay. You're not vetting your people. You gotta vet your people to make sure that you got the right people around you. It's so easy for COINTELPRO to come. You got to know that you know that you know that the people around you are not, there's more for black people than money. Like right now, I'm giving a dang about no money. It's all about freedom. It's all about my people. It's all about setting us free. Because if it wasn't, we could have long time ago got on here and been just like Candace Owens. Okay, we could have been saying all kind of crazy stuff. So yes, we have to learn their tactics. We're not learning. All we have to do is pull up how old other leaders back in the day got brought down. COINTELPRO worked real good, huh? Okay, same thing with him. That's how they do all the leaders, all the black leaders. As you would notice, you have black leaders in Detroit. The who was that? What's her name? No, it wasn't even Detroit. What was it? What was it? Maryland. Okay, she's going to jail. She used her own money to purchase something, her own 401k. What do we do about that? We have to stop stuff like that from happening. They always use their system against us. Her and her husband, they bring it down. And then you got another lady in Connecticut, I think, a black lady. Then you have the one that we just showed you. Everybody black that's in office that's got some power, they bringing them down. Do we notice that? Are we noticing that? So that means that they're using the same tactics over and over because we're not challenging those tactics. You're not being honest and putting it in their face that we know what you're doing. You got to be open. You got to stop all this gaslighting with them. You got to come to the point that your ass is being racist. This is how you doing it. You got to break that thing down for them because they'll keep on trying and act just like you. We don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. All this gaslighting. No.
Right.
We got to start pulling down, pulling the blinders off of what's going on. We're not honest enough. We're not pulling it. You'll say, well, I think it's racism, or I feel like it's no, you call it out. This is how I know it's racism because FBI told us that it's been infiltrated. You understand what I'm saying? We know it's been infiltrated. Let's call them out on it. Yeah, let's really do some investigating on these police officers. Let's really do some investigating on the chiefs. It don't change its shape. It don't. A zebra don't change their stripe. They can't.
So Sister Cassie, if we take that route that you're talking about and call them out, and I agree with you 100%, but I want to play the other side of that card. What if then they say, well, you're the racist. You're the one who's unhinged. You're the one who has the problem. You're the one who's, a little slow. You're the one that's not fitting in to what quote unquote leader of the people are supposed to be.
I'm not gonna act like everybody else. Then you're gonna call them out on some stuff that they doing. You really gonna investigate their asses. That's what we're not doing. We're not bringing stuff to the table. They all got some dirt. You bring their dirt out. You want to bring them? Let's bring your dirt out too, because you ain't squeaky clean, honey. Because we really investigated all of those chiefs that's in office, all the chiefs, police officers. Let's investigate them. You know they got some dirt. Let's pull the dirt out. Okay, then here on this day you did blah blah blah. This day you did blah blah blah. This day, call them out. You got to call that out now. You can't just come and just be a wild, no, you got to have backup. You got to make sure that you backing up what you're saying, because they all got some dirt. They all got some. So you explain this. Okay, you calling me out. So this day you did so and so, so and so. Let's explain it to the public. I don't see people doing that. Do you?
No.
We're not calling their dirt out. Just like that judge talking about, they brought them up. They brought that judge up, the one that they dragged out. They had her up on like 41 different charges. Are you serious? Come on now. You already know they're trying to get her out of office. You already know she won a seat. They didn't want her to have that seat. So she's, so that's how they operate. We got to start bringing them to the carpet. Just like Eric Mays. You don't think they killed that brother? I don't care what nobody say. I think they took that brother out because he was, woo, boy, that brother was something. They couldn't get him out of office. They had to take him out. Harold Washington in Chicago, they took that brother out. Okay, we know a few people that they've taken out, right? Okay,
right.
who was the attorney that defended OJ? You think they didn't take him out?
Oh yeah, they killed him.
And we're not even bringing that up. We're not talking about that. The little boy that testified in Botham Jean's case, and they killed him 2 weeks, 2 days after he testified, and then they said it was some drugs. You ain't gonna let that boy on trial to testify if he was a drug dealer. You mean to tell me you didn't vet him before you? And they just let it go. No, let's bring them up on that stuff. We gotta start calling that stuff out. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You got some dirt. And I would investigate it. If I'm running for mayor, you better believe I'm gonna investigate my opponents and I'm gonna call all of their dirt out.
Definitely.
I know they're gonna call mine out. And I wouldn't even care. I'm gonna I'm just because I'm out with mine. I ain't hiding nothing. They be trying to hide theirs, but it's still there. But they covered it up. Just like what Chauvin. He had dirt in his closet that the attorneys didn't even pull out. Tell me why. You trying to talk about George Floyd stuff, but what about that officer? He had a whole boatload of dirty laundry, and nobody brought it out, did they? Do they ever?
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You got this like they got their power. You gonna have yours. Period.
Exactly. I want to take this time to welcome Nama X to the program. Peace and blessings, Nama. I want to welcome Brother Willie Rivers to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother Willie. I want to welcome Mayat to the program. Peace and blessings, Mayat. And Mayat also says Marion Barry was set up as well.
He was, really but the people loved him. He kept coming back. That's what I'm talking about. Just like that mayor, what's the dude in Florida? The black dude. Yeah, he was gay, but he was set up too. What's the boy's name who was running against Juan DeSantis? He was set up too. Okay.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, right? Yeah. He was set up too. And they tried to ruin that brother. What's it? Harvey Weinstein doing some dirt, right? They'll forgive him and give him picture after picture, put him back, bring him out of jail and put him to work. But then black folks, we got to dig our way out the gutter that they didn't put you in because they didn't set you up. That right there somebody should have been called out of the carpet for that. That Ron DeSantis should have been called out of the carpet. Because you know that's who did it. And that's how he won that race. Because that brother was winning. That's how he won that race.
Exactly. And Mayat says his name, Andre Gilliam.
Yes, Gilliam. Yes.
That's him. That was him.
They set that brother. Woo, they told him, woo, Lord.
They did. When I saw them damn pictures, I said, no.
Ooh, I think he was drugged. I think he was drugged, but how he gonna prove it? He can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? So we know this is what I'm talking about. We got to start recognizing what they do and make sure the people around you is vetted. Exactly. And my thing is, you're going to sign a contract. You come against me, I'm going to kill you and your whole family. I'm just saying, that's if, in Cassie land, okay? That's in Cassie land. I'm just, boy. Stop asking me questions like that. Okay, let me clean that up a little bit. In Cassie land, okay? We're doing Cassie land, right? Why you ask me questions like that? I'm gonna drink my water.
Well, I tell you one thing, boy. People gonna step right around you, Sister Cassie. They gonna step right.
I'm gonna drink my water. Stop asking me questions like that. You need to put the pen up when I'm getting ready to go too far. That's in Cassie land, right? We're talking about Cassie land, okay? You know Cassie land is not real, but that's Cassie land, okay? So I'm just saying.
Definitely. And she says his name is Andrew. Andrew. But yeah, that's him. I remember seeing them pictures, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, bro. When I seen it, but that's what we have to start calling out, stuff like that. We know he was set up. We know that, and they do that, and nobody thinks twice. We went hog wire with those pictures instead of defending our brothers. Said, "Hey, hold on, Something happened. Hold on. That dude was trying to win. Ron DeSantis won after those pictures came out. Did they not? Did he not? He did that. And we should have been calling it out. Nobody investigated that to see what really happened. Because he couldn't prove it. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm gay. But all of that, did you have to do that? You know them senators doing that with them little boys. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
No, well, because I remember a few years where it came out. One of them senators had pictures that was harassing one of them little boys. Okay, one of the pages. Remember that?
Exactly.
We start calling that stuff out. That's how we gonna beat it. That's how we gonna take care of it. That's how we gonna come head to head with these jokers. That's the only way they know. Dirt for dirt.
Exactly.
Period. We've been too nice to their asses. Dirt for dirt.
Yep.
You're going to have their dirt already. When you know you're running for office, every last one of them, you're going to have dirt on their asses. Stand down or it's your dirt coming out too. So act crazy if you want to.
Exactly. And you know, we definitely have to be willing, ready, and able to go exactly there. Right. And you know, hold nothing back. Just let loose. Right. Just let loose.
Let it go. Just like Biden. You think he would have won if some of those candidates had brought up his past, how he treated black folk, how all the time. This is not something that this man has always given black folk been a thorn in our side, always. And people have forgotten. But all of those people, I think Kamala Harris called him out one time, but then he said, "Hold on, you're gonna be my vice president. You better shut up and sit down." And what she did, she said, "Shut up and sit down," didn't she? Okay, but she called him out. She tried.
Exactly.
And then they went to her and said, okay, now you either gonna, we got some plans for you. Okay, you're gonna be our vice president. So she backed down, didn't she? Yeah, but she brought it out. That's how you have to do it. You can't be afraid to because everybody up there has some dirt. That's why they didn't do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we have to start calling them out on their stuff. And I guarantee you they'll back down. Guarantee you.
Most definitely. Yeah. Because, you know, even Bill Clinton, when he was going through his thing, and he was like, if y'all don't stop this, I'm going to tell it on everybody. We're going to go to a scorched earth policy. I'm going to tell it on everybody.
Trump did it too. Remember when they were trying to impeach Trump? He did it too. He said, I'll tell it here. I'll tell it all. I'll tell it all. And they backed down, didn't they? They don't tell me they ain't got no dirt. Well, I'm going to start investigating now. You want to rough off? You better investigate them now. You better back them up. I got you sleep with so and so. You slept with the dog. You slept with the daughter, and you was with the. You better have it because they gonna have it on you. You may as well have it on them.
Exactly.
Oh, you think you're gonna take me to the carpet? Come on, we're gonna take each other to the carpet and see who gonna make it in then. May the best woman or man win.
Exactly.
That's the only way we got to do it, bro. That's it. That's the only way. Because too much is going down, and black folk going down like punks. We ain't fighting. We ain't making a difference. We not shouting to the rooftop. Y'all racist as hell in this country. When Ahmaud Arbery, nobody was calling them out, but the mama. The mama called them out. Okay, and she said, "I want the full extent of the law." Do you think she'd have got that if she'd have said, "I forgive them. I forgive them for killing my baby"? You think? No, but the daddy. He was starting to sing. Remember the daddy said, well, we all did. Shut up and go sit down somewhere. That's what I told him on public. Shut up. Ain't nobody talking to them that we forgive. We ain't forgiving nothing.
Exactly.
Couldn't have been standing up there with me. And boy, if you don't sit down and shut up, you're going too far now. Tell me you forgiving stuff. Forgiving nothing.
Exactly.
She said, I want them punished to the full extent of the law. That's what she said. And that was the best thing I could have heard from her voice. I'm glad she wasn't talking about we forgive.
Definitely. And you know, I was in Memphis one year and I was giving a talk, and I said when we're dealing with our people who family members have been killed by the police, I said it's not very smart to let them take the lead. It's not. I said, because what we got to realize is, unfortunately, their family member is already dead. So we're the ones that's left living. And, you know, one of us is going to be the next target. We can't afford to allow people to come out here and say we forgive. That can never happen. That should never happen. So therefore, it is incumbent upon us to take the forefront and keep it. and keep it. And that way we say what need to be said. We can target things exactly the way, because when they're in their grieving period, you know, they may be looking, you know, well, you know, it's going to be okay. They ain't thinking like they're supposed to think. But it's us who are not in that period. We're thinking like we're supposed to think, you know, because we know the hunt ain't over. The hunt is still going on. So we have to do and say the thing that has to happen so that our people can be secure. And, you know, we're going to get into a video too, where we hear,
because even with that, Brother Maurice, even that what you were just saying, we have to continue that fight and let them have a seat, and let's take it, because they are looking at them like, if you say anything, you're not going to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. They're going to use that, and then that's what's shutting their mouths. But we ain't gonna get paid no way. So, but we gonna say what needs to be said in the time when the limelight is fresh and it's right there in focus, and we can call America out for some stuff that they're doing even now today. But we don't do it. Exactly. We don't do it for whatever reason. We don't do
it. And this is something that, you know, we have to do. We got to understand politics is warfare.
That's right.
And you have to understand that you're fighting for the freedom of your people. Right. Now, you know, it's like this. I know when I get into office, I'm not looking at how I can best serve white people. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at the best way I can serve Mexicans. I'm not looking at the best way I can deal with this with this. My people sent me here to do a job for them.
Right.
That's how I'm here. My people sent me here. So, you know, people say, well, I'm not the president of Black America. I'm not the mayor of Black Seattle, America. No. I am the mayor of Black people. I am the president. They sent me here to do a job. And I'm going to do it for their benefit. You know, and I just feel like that we have to be engaged in that level that we're going to tell the truth regardless to whom or what. Fuck them. I don't care if white people don't like that I say that my politics are Black first.
But guess what? They do the same thing. They do. They show you. But then we don't call them out. So we can't say that we're for our own. You had the Mexican lady, Acosta, said Spanish people. Okay. Exactly. She's for her people. Then she, so they can say that, but we can't. What the world? What's going on here?
Exactly. And we have to be bold and secure enough to say, see, this is the thing, because as one person said, well, you'll never get elected when you're thinking like that. I said, what you fail to realize is it's my season. It's our time now. So I can say exactly what needs to be said, and it's going to prick the ear of my people. They're going to hear and say, that's what I've been looking for. Let's get it. Let's put him where he needs to be, because he's going to do what needs to be done. And this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. It's our time. And I don't feel like the best way we serve our people is to be quiet. Fuck that. We done failed at that shit. That's the most dangerous thing you can be, is be quiet.
Right.
Right. No, we speak, and we speak it strong. And like we've said before, justice is not a diplomatic language.
Right.
It's not. So I'm not here to say it nicely. I could give less than a damn if your feelings are hurt. I don't care. And you know, even to those that are Black, that are squeamish, you know, it's like this. Look, I can't be as weak as you and defeat our enemies for you.
That's right.
Because they will crush me and crush you too. And that's the way we just have to be. We have to be straight up, blunt. This is the way it is.
You got to be strong.
Exactly.
You got to be strong, because I can't fight a fight if I'm weak. And we have so many leaders that are weak, and that's what's going on now. We had that Detroit lady. She was a mayor of Detroit, and they harassed her, but she didn't say nothing. How do you not say help? I need some help, y'all. They harassing me. You know, you had the lady in Kentucky, who Danye Mama, who, remember we talked to Danye Mom, right? The one that was Melissa, right?
Yeah.
And nobody knew she was going through what she was going through. So we should have had security on her whole family. She should have went when she go outside. She should have had her candy bar in her hand with them cars parked in front of her door. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew until afterwards. Then she was talking. You're supposed to talk while you're going through that stuff. You're supposed to tell people, hey, I got some people that's harassing me. What we gonna do? She would have had some help. You can't keep this quiet when you doing what we do. You got to be boisterous. You got to be loud. You got to get some help. You can't try to fight them crackers by yourself because they got help. They are.
Exactly.
So that's what we got to change right there. With somebody like yourself, we got to have security, period. And we got to battle. And they got to sign a contract. This is what we gonna do, and this is what we ain't gonna do. Let something happen to them.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. When I don't know if you remember, but one day when we were still in Illinois, and I put on Facebook, you know, if something happened to me, I ain't kill myself. Understand, you know, and I was on a conference call with my family, and I was like, look here, if these motherfuckers carry out they threat and kill me, y'all better not be talking some crying and forgiving. Fuck that. Y'all don't even say nothing like that. Don't say nothing like that. I said, you need to be on point, and you know, look here, talk about burning shit down. We want to fight, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. That's what I want to hear you say. Don't say no corny bullshit of forgiving, because you know damn well that ain't me. You know damn well that ain't what I believe in.
That's right.
So don't come up here with that weak shit.
That's right. They already know. It's a standing order. There you are. Finish the rest. dot. You already know. Don't play with me. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know, y'all. This is our season. Seriously. And the ones that's strong enough to stand up, let's make it happen, because we can.
Exactly.
Because he gave us permission to do it. And we don't need white folk telling us it's okay, y'all can do it. We don't need you telling us that. This is our season. You're done. This is our season. They're done.
Exactly. Done.
Stick a fork in it.
Exactly.
And they never coming back. Trust that one. Yeah, Black politicians are being taken down. Yeah, I'm reading some of the comments, and yeah, it's time for us. We know that a lot of them, if we would go into the internet, a lot of Black leaders, or you know, the ones that were trying to do something, either they died or they put them in prison, brought them up on charges. That's how you know that they was for the people. You see them charges coming. But we're gonna have to get to the point where we are facing the fact that when they try to bring you up on charges, we got to handle that too. We got to come out and support. We got to come out and support and say, y'all need to release them, else we're going to burn some shit down.
Exactly.
So y'all do what y'all need to do, because we know this is frivolous charges, but we won't do that. We have to start supporting each other, you guys. We have to, especially we going and putting our heads on the line for y'all. You got to, I expect it. I expect for you guys to take that throne and take the torch and keep running. But it should be a movement across the nation and not just one person. It shouldn't just be Brother Maurice up here doing it. Shouldn't just be Cassie. Shouldn't just be Isaiah. It should be globally. The fire should be started globally across the world. Period. We're not doing it just for Mississippi. We're not doing it just for North Carolina. Not doing it just for Alabama. We are doing it across the world, everywhere you see Black folk. Period. We shouldn't just be sitting up here too fighting for the whole clan. No, y'all better get you some draws, get you some balls.
Exactly.
Stop being so scared of these crackers.
Exactly.
Breathe. What in the world?
And you know, one year when I was in DC lobbying and dealing with the city council, and at that time, Marion Barry was back as a member of the city council. This was before he died, not too many years after that. and we were talking in his office, and I got a picture of me and him outside of his office, and he's hugging me. We're standing there taking a picture, and I was telling him, about B1 and how a new form of politician we have to be. And I told him, I remember when they did that to you. I remember seeing them bring you out in handcuffs.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. And I said, I didn't like it. And I said, I remember, because they, had the shit on TV. I said, I remember you saying to the girl, I don't know how to do this. How do you do this? I said, I remember these things. I remember the black man out there while the police was taking you away saying, we with you, Mayor. We with you, Mayor. I said, I remember these things.
Yeah, I remember.
And he said to me, he said, young brother, I want you to remember this as well. Don't allow them to use women or money or anything. Don't allow them to use your weakness against you.
Yeah.
Don't allow them to do that, because that's how they got me. You stay strong and you stay committed. And he said, what you're talking about Black First and the Black First politics, he said, you're right.
Yeah.
This is how we got to be. We probably couldn't be that way during my day, but we can be that way during your day. So don't get weak. Don't shimmer. Don't shake. You staying strong, and you do it because it's our time now.
Right.
We're passing you all the pendulum. It is our time. And, I never forgot those words that he said to me, that kind of encouragement.
Yeah.
Because it really matters.
Yeah.
It really matters. And, seeing them, how they did him. And I'm like, these dirty bastards.
Yeah.
You know how dirty they are.
Yes.
They are the real criminals.
Yes.
They are the real
criminals. Yes, they are. But they'll turn on us and make us look just as bad. But guess what? We can use that, what they did to him, and show it. This is what we are to expect from them. This is their normal behavior. Just like they try to poison Farrakhan. That's their normal behavior. That was a warning right there. That's the normal behavior. How they shot Martin Luther King in the face and how black folk was used against him, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We have to call them out for this. We have to show examples because we don't get it yet. Yes, they'll use their system against you. But then guess what? You either partnered up with the wrong partner, you partnered up with the wrong woman, or you was using drugs, or they use something. You got to cover your weakness. You got to make sure that you're good.
That's right.
You have to watch yourself. You got to watch your surroundings like a hawk. Marcus Garvey got taken down because somebody sent him a check that wasn't signed, but nobody said it. And he signed it. That you can't do that. Should have tore that thing up and I'm gonna need you to rewrite it. But see, he probably wasn't even thinking about it. But we always have to understand that when you're as boisterous as us, it's always gonna be something. They're gonna always try something.
Exactly.
Just like NFAC. He pointed, they say he pointed a gun or whatever. He had a flashlight, okay? But that's how they brought him down. Wasn't anything he did because it was dark. They was on the top of the building and didn't tell him. So he didn't know who was up there. So was he really pointing a gun at them? No, he didn't even know that they were there. He was trying to investigate. But this is how they bring us down. They'll use their system against us. They do all kind of dirt, and they do all kind of dirt and get away with it. But it's like a lot. What? Who else went to jail? Wasn't it Jesse Jackson's son, Martin Luther King's son, went to jail? Okay, same. Why? Why do you think that was? Not that he wasn't doing nothing that they wasn't doing.
Exactly.
They didn't even want him to think that he could be the leader, the next leader. That's all that was. They were showing that they was what? That was a dog whistle right there. We're gonna break him down. Don't even think you would, bro. We got you. And took him to jail. Ain't that the one that just died? See, I'm just saying. We don't know what they did to him in prison, do we?
Say that.
They said it's natural causes. What no natural causes? Y'all ain't gonna see. Y'all can't fool me with this stuff because I'm always suspecting them folk. I'm always gonna look to them crazy because I know how them bastards. I know how they do. I know how they do. I'm never gonna look like, oh, that's a natural cause. Eric Mays, you ain't gonna tell me that ain't no natural cause.
No.
You ain't gonna tell me they didn't do none of that, brother, because that's their signature. See, that's how we have to know. We have to know their signatures. And now we're understanding it. Now it's coming out. And some of this stuff be shocking. Because you be like, oh my God, really? They really did that? Yeah. You got to expect the unexpected with them. That's how they operate.
Exactly. And you know, that I think that's a bigger problem too, because you know, some of our people can't see the depths of what this enemy will go to just to bring you down. And because you can't see the depths that they will go to, that means you're unqualified to fight them.
That's right there.
You're unqualified to fight them.
You're unqualified. Only a certain few can do this, brother. Maurice, only a certain few can see past the way we see. If everybody can't see the way we see, they're not chosen. They're not chosen. You can't walk this walk if you're not chosen. You got to be able to see the way. You got to be able to see the vision. You can't see the vision, you're not chosen. Have a seat. You're not ready. You can assist, but you can't walk that walk. You ain't ready.
Nope.
Only a certain few can walk this walk, honey.
Exactly. I remember when we first started, and I was on a call, and I wish Brother Bakari was here so he could bear witness. But I was saying, you know, I was like, brother, look here. As we go forward, you know, I don't need to be in a room and there's nothing but women in there. You don't leave my side. You stay right there with me.
Exactly.
You stay right there with me. You have to make sure that you stay on point, and you make sure they stay. You don't let that. You don't do that. You don't do that.
That's right.
And people don't even think like that.
Right. Oh God, no.
They don't think like that.
No,
they don't think like that. But we have to.
And us women around you have to be able to cover you. We have to be able to see that. So when we see a woman over there, be like, back up. Because we know women. We know women. How they think. We know women. We have to be able to look and be like, ma'am, no, ma'am. No, not today. Let me know and I'll tell them. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that group around you that's going to cover you at all costs. At all costs.
Yeah. You're not going to make it without it.
Oh,
you're not going to make it without it.
You can. Just like Marcus Garvey. I think he could have made it, but he covered him. He cornered himself off. He didn't have enough people around him that he trusted. That's what got him, because he couldn't trust anybody, and he knew that. But he didn't have the qualified people, the ones that were chosen around him. You gotta know who's chosen, and you know the ones that are chosen. You'll know because they don't change. They'll be the same way for years, and they don't change.
Exactly. And you know, this is one thing about Marcus Garvey that and I wish that I could ask him these questions, but when they deported him from America, he went over there to Europe, and you know, he didn't go to Africa, but he went to Europe, and he died in Europe. Yeah. And they were saying they had wrote an article that he was dead before he was dead, and he read it and he was like, no, I ain't dead, I'm still alive, you know, but I'm over here in Europe. When you should have, I would have thought, either went to Africa, to some country over there, or back to Jamaica. Why would you go and live out the rest of your life?
I thought he went back to Jamaica. I did. I thought he went back to Jamaica, because that's where he should have went amongst his own. Why would you go to Europe to the very ones that was trying to take you down? That doesn't make sense.
No,
it's really weird. Wow.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't. And you know, it's like there's no such thing as, you know, what, as they say, frenemies. Either your friend or they're the enemy. And when it comes with them, it's always your enemy. It's always, they're never a friend, because they're always looking to trick and deceive you so that you're not on the path that you need to be on. And so we got to make sure that that's clearly understood and clearly accepted as a fact, because that's what it just has to be. Anything less is setting ourselves up for failure, and we just don't have time for failure.
That's right.
Maya said that he was antagonized in Jamaica. Children were even throwing rocks at him. Oh,
Wow. That's great.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? How he stretched his neck out. You see what I'm saying? That right there shouldn't have been. The parents of those children should be. I'm telling you, we have to start teaching our children better. There's no reason, no way. And they made him look bad because we didn't understand their tactics. Because every time they say, remember Germany, they said, oh, they eat babies. They always gonna lie. They always gonna lie to make you look crazy. But that's when you put your attention on that person and be, they up to something. You got to understand the tactics, family. When they try to make you look as bad as they can, black man, you already know what they're doing. They're trying to destroy you, because if they destroy you, they can destroy the women and children. And they almost getting us. Okay?
Exactly.
They almost getting us right now. Because it's what? The 3 Ds, right? Y'all don't understand that. You have to understand that. Because once they destroy our men, they coming after the women and children, because you ain't got no covering. When I hear black women say, I don't need a man, you're an idiot. Because that is your covering. That is your covering. You telling me you don't need a man, something wrong with you. You ain't gonna take man from me. Because that's your covering. A man's presence can change a person's mind against hurting you. If you don't have a man beside you, then they don't think twice about hurting you. But let that man come up the rear. Who, you know, they think he's in a car or whatever. He come up the rear. That person changes just like that, because they like, ooh, hold on. I thought she was by herself. You have to understand, a man's presence is everything.
Exactly. Maya said, if I could ask a question, I would ask Frederick Douglass why he married a white woman.
I would ask him that too, girl.
Me too, because I wouldn't. Ain't no hell of a way I would have married a nasty.
But because you see the change, the mindset was changing. You understand? You have to understand the mindset was changing. That's the only reason you married one, because he had a black woman at first, didn't he?
That's what I thought he had, a black woman. And
then he divorced her, or she died, one of the two, and then he married a white woman. Yeah, I remember that. But I sure would want to know what was that. But you have to understand, he was getting in the mix of all of the other stuff. So he's getting brainwashed. So if you can turn around and have a black woman, then you turn around and marry a white one, you're done. You done lost the fight. Okay, there's no way Cornel West can be married to a white woman and sit up there and fight for black folk. I look all kind of upside down at him. You're married to a white woman. Cornel West, yes, sir, he is. Pull him up. Pull her up.
Wow.
Yes, wow. See what I'm saying? But you running for president. You couldn't tell me nothing with your shade. Go shade yourself.
Ask Charles Barkley.
Okay? Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world. Cornel West got a white woman. Did you pull her up?
Yeah, but the shit.
Ain't no way in the world you gonna sit up there and try to talk about black folk or talk to black folk, and you laying up against the Becky all night. What you got to tell me? You don't even like black people. That's what you're telling me. If you have a white wife, you don't even like black folks. So why would I listen to you? Because you don't have my best interest at heart. Yeah, okay, go ahead, y'all. Okay, there she go. But he trying to tell black folks something. What you gonna tell black folk? What you gonna tell black folk? Mr. Man, Mr. Black Scholar, married to a white Becky.
Wow.
The Becky's win, huh? Yeah, okay.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know he had a white wife.
He can't tell me nothing. He can't tell me the price of tea in China. I ain't gonna. Ain't that something? But you trying to run for black, and you want black folk to vote for you. That's why he always talk about freeing. He's so brainwashed. It's ridiculous. It's sickening. It's sickening to see that. He just makes my stomach hurt. I hate to hear him talk. Brother, everybody his brother. Everybody. Palestine. You ain't fight for black folk as much as you fought for Palestine. You ain't had nothing to say about police brutality the way you talked about Palestine. Go, you better go sit down. Ain't nobody listening to you. Dried up nothing. That's what he is, a dried up nothing. All these they talk a good game and ain't about nothing. Them white women wrap around their fingers. The nastiest people on earth, you sleeping beside them. Nasty. That's disgusting. Ain't it just disgusting when you see black folk like that that's been in the civil rights and ain't worth a damn? Karen Bass was with the walking beside Martin and ain't worth 2 pennies, was the head of the Black Caucus and couldn't stop the police from murdering her babies. Ain't that something? That's about the sickest thing in the world. That just bothers me so bad when I see all these black leaders that ain't hitting on nothing. The whole black caucus. You need to sit all of them. You need to just shut the black caucus down.
Exactly.
They don't speak up, say nothing. Maxine Waters with a $3 million house because they didn't pay her. They didn't pay her. They've been paying her since beginning of the time she was civil rights, whatever. You ain't civil rights, nothing, lady. Shut up. Makes me sick when I see black folk that sold their souls for money. Can't even speak up for the black folk.
Wow.
See your babies dying and don't give a dang on. You so money hungry. And that's what they do. They get the ones like that that's up there. All of them civil rights leaders became the part of the black caucus. Did you notice that? And they paid by white folk. They came from Martin Luther King and jumped right on that civil rights, black caucus band. And they were paying them good, making all kind of money. Sit down and shut up, niggas. Okay, master.
Exactly.
And sat right there. Been sitting ever since. That's disgusting. It's disgusting.
My God. Wow. Well, we're going to go ahead and move into this video. Before we get into the video, Brother Isaiah, did you want to come in and make a comment?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I just want to share a couple of things. When you get into, for me personally, right, I have my Achilles heel, and I know what they are. As a people, when we get into those political positions or economic positions on Wall Street, you got to be cognizant as to what's going on, and to know who your enemies are and your frenemies, as you were saying. And it's so vital to cover up not only personally your Achilles heel, but the Achilles heel of the group, of the people, of the nation, the black nation within a nation. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of good points that were made, but you know, people are going to be people, and you got to be able to have people around you who are going to pull your coattails when you're going too far. You know what I mean? Going too far into the enemy's camp, or you're not doing what you say you're going to do within our camp. So, vitally speaking, it's necessary to be well grounded and to know what your Achilles heels are or is, and make sure that you're not vulnerable in any way. I mean, you made a very good point. When you're going into a room full of women and you're the only guy there, you know, you might very well be asking for some trouble. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it might happen, but the possibility is there. And people like moth to a flame, they love men and power, money, and all of that. I mean, you can make the connection to Diddy, you know, and what's going on with that and the whole nine. And he totally fucked that up. He is not only going to jail, but his sons are going to jail, and his sons copying the same mentality. You know what I mean? You have a chance to pass on generational wealth and build on it. Now, motherfucker ain't got shit. But a hard way and the fastest way to get there. And that's, you know, I really feel bad in that way. But I really feel good in that way, because we don't need these kind of niggas in our society, in our community. Because all he did was bring it down. And I'll rest my mic and I throw it back at you. Be careful.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So we're going to go ahead and get into the video and talking about Kwame Kilpatrick. And again, he was the youngest mayor in American history. He won the mayor race in 2001, and I think he was like in his 30s. He was young 30s. And it was very interesting because the first black mayor that we've ever had in the U.S. was also from Detroit, was the mayor of Detroit, Coleman Young. And, Brother Coleman, I would damn sure say, was either black first or on the fringes of black first. And you'll see as we get into the video, because the first part of the video, it talks about him. And of course, the media didn't like him. The whites and the audience and the media didn't like him. And I think that a lot of cases, and Sister Cassie, you can give me your opinion, but the media is a tool of the enemy.
That's right.
We get that confused and think that the media is here to help. I gave orders. I said, look here, when we do what we do, the national media come down and all, keep them the fuck away from me. I ain't got nothing to say to them. They're not our friends. They're tools. Because you start speaking to them motherfuckers, next thing you know, some handcuffs is coming right behind you, or some goddamn plane. Don't get mixed up with that bullshit. That's right. Don't get mixed up with that. Well, what's your thoughts on that, Sister Cassie?
That's right. When I look at that, when I see the media liking somebody, I already know. Mm-hmm. I'm done with them. Mm-hmm. Because they're not gonna like folk like you and I. No. And Isaiah. No, we don't rock with them. They're gonna always have something to say, and we understand because guess what? We not white first. Okay, exactly. And they know, they can smell it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones that you need to rock with, the ones that they don't like.
Exactly.
Now rest my mic.
All right, so let's get into this video.
Today, Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick became the first sitting mayor to be charged with a crime in that city's history.
In the past 30 days, I've been called more than any time in my entire life.
In a city that's divided by color.
It's no longer white flight from the city of Detroit. Now it is black flight from the city of Detroit.
I've received more death threats than I have in my entire administration.
Any merit to this? It seems they're playing the race card here.
Well, it certainly seems like that.
One man is the target of a political conspiracy.
I cheated on my wife. Boy, if you had me and my wife text messages, dude, let me tell you something.
Don Diva Films presents a Flip Wilson production.
It isn't people can go to jail or prison. People can literally get away with murder.
This is the Kwame Kilpatrick story. The rise and fall of power.
This indictment alleges Kilpatrick received at least $640,000 of unreported taxable income. The nonprofit seemed to be more of a slush fund for the mayor and his pals.
He's young, he's black. I'm not using the race card, not at all. But he's young, he's black, and I guess, he made this mistake. They did not want to let it go.
It is perhaps the most notorious unsolved murder in Detroit. Who killed stripper Tamara?
Violence in our city is deplorable. It's out of control.
Never admit it, so we'll never know.
Kilpatrick's tangled web now jeopardizes what was once a promising fresh start for a struggling city. The son of a member of Congress and a county commissioner, he was elected in 2001 to great fanfare. It was a subdued Kwame Kilpatrick who spoke this morning, who stayed on message as he announced that despite felony charges against him, he would not resign.
I look forward to complete exoneration once all the facts surrounding this matter have been brought forth.
I think that he pissed a lot of people off.
Kwame Kilpatrick, as a young boy.
I keep telling your mom.
Yeah, I want to stop it right here and talk about this. When we go up for any office, that's power. That's power. And we're taking it from the enemy. So the enemy not going to sit back and just let you go do it. They're not going to be happy with you. No, nigga, what? You stopping me from eating. You stopping me from taking care of my children. You stopping me. You stopping my legacy. So in their minds, they got to destroy us quickly. But we got to be able to understand that this is war. Yes. So we should expect the name calling. We should expect the death threats. Yes. We should expect all of that. We should expect the liars to be coming out of the woodwork. And you got to be already prepared for that. Because when Black people vote you into office and then you do some dumb shit, or you just quit because you got people calling you saying we're going to kill you, and now you're going to quit, then that discourages other Black people for voting for more Black people. It's something you got to understand. So if you're not committed, then leave it the hell alone.
That's right.
Leave it alone.
That's right.
You know, when I first started, I expected death threats. Mm-hmm. You know, because really, if I'm not getting death threats, then I'm not doing my motherfucking job.
Right.
Then I'm not making these crackers nervous.
That's right.
Because they say, oh, yeah, we good with him. Let him go ahead and say his thing. Then I ain't doing my job right. Mm-hmm. They supposed to be nervous when I speak. They supposed to be afraid. They supposed to try to stop me at every damn turn. That's right. That lets me know I'm doing my job correctly. I'm doing it correctly. Yeah, it's a hassle to have to get your channel cut off and cut off and cut off and cut off. It's a hassle. But shit, it come with the territory. Means you're doing something right. I mean, we were at one time, our channel, we were at over 4,000 strong.
Yes.
And every video we was doing, we were having 4,000 people watching.
Yeah.
They don't let us get nowhere close to that number today. But it means we're doing something right.
Right.
And that's what you gotta be able to understand that. It means you're doing something right.
That's right.
So when we step out there on the bigger stage, it's going to be more attacks, more coming. And we got to be strong mentally.
Yeah.
Because once they see, oh, the nigga done cracked, he done having second thoughts, is this, is that, then they know we got you.
That's right.
We got you. And then when your people, see, because they want one of the most important scenes, if we can go back and remember Roots, the most important scene of that movie is when they had him tied up there and they was whooping him and they kept asking him, what's your name?
That's right.
What's your name? And he kept, Kunta Kinte, Kunta Kinte. But when they broke him and he said, what's your name? And he said, Toby. The white man, you can remember, he was shocked that he was broke. He said, what'd you say? Say it again. And then he looked at the eyes, the faces of the Black people watching, and they broke because he broke.
That's right. Yeah.
See, we got to understand that we are the strength of our people.
That's right.
When they see you strong, they get strength from you.
Yeah.
So you can't afford to break. This is what we got to understand. Because the enemy know if I break this nigga,
that's right. I got him.
The rest of them gonna be broken. Because they saw that nigga as strong. So I'm gonna break that nigga. And then I done broke the rest of them. This is their tactics. And this is what we got to make sure that it's so important that you don't break. That's why it's so important that you have the right sister on your arm that can reinforce you and prop you and back you up. A cracker can never do that for you because her allegiance is to her own damn people. You gotta have a strong black woman with you. You talking about taking down a world. No weak woman can help you do that. No punctified woman can help you do that. And this is something that you better understand. You gotta be strong. I remember when I was in the military and I was fighting these bastards. And the soldiers, my brothers, will come up to me and we'd be out there in the field and they'd be like, hey, Reese, I ain't mess with that pork. I left that pork alone. and I was like, there you go, there you go. But they understood and they saw the fight where they were talking about, they were in one tent. A lot of the NCOICs were in one tent talking about who's going to have guard duty. And they was like, give it to Rivers, because at that time, that was my last name, Rivers. Give it to him. Make him do it at 1 o'clock in the morning. And my NCOIC said, I ain't going to tell him that. And he was like, you tell him that. He's like, I'm going to tell him that. And soldiers around was listening. Mm-hmm. Damn, you scared to tell this nigga he got duty? What's with him? Yeah. That y'all that outrank him are afraid to tell him he got duty.
That's right.
And when it got back to me, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. God got my back.
That's right.
So you ain't talking to no nigga. You talking to a man that's backed by God. So I can say what I say and stand the way I stand and don't fret and don't lose a wink of sleep. Because I know God got me. And that's that assurity that we got to have as a people, because we're doing battle. This is warfare for the deliverance of our people. And there ain't no such thing where we got to sit back and say, well, you know, let's negotiate. Fuck that. Ain't nobody here for no negotiation. It's life or death. And that's where we got to be. We got to be strong just like that. Because that's what our people are looking for. They're looking to see, are you fearless? Are you strong? Are you willing to do what needs to be done? That's right. And then they will believe in you and they will back you. They will back you. I remember when I used to be a store manager of a convenience station in the black community. And this company was owned by these Israeli Jews. This store had not made a profit in over 20 years. When I got on and started running the store, and I ran it my way, I talked to our people. What's up, brother? What's up, sister? How you doing, queen? How you doing, king? You know, and that's how I was dealing with them. And you know, the homeless people would be out there begging for money while people pump gas in their cars. I stopped all that. I said, you're not a beggar. I will pay you till you can clean these pumps. You can do this, you can do that. And I started paying the homeless to help keep my lot and everything clean.
Awesome.
The community loved me so much when it was a mistake that somebody said that my store was being robbed. And it wasn't my store. They robbed the store across the street. And the community showed up with sticks and bottles in their hands.
They was ready.
They was ready to fight for me. And I was like, wow, look at this. Look at this. I couldn't believe it. But I said, this is what it is when you treat your people right.
That's right.
When you take care of your people the right way. And this is something that we can't back down from. I remember we led a protest one year in Nashville. And we didn't have a permit because I don't believe in that bullshit. I believe in just showing up and let's handle business. And I was up there talking on the bullhorn, and the police was like, hey, you better shut this shit down or we're going to take all y'all to jail. And I said on the horn, I said, look here, this cracker that told me that we're going to shut this down. They're going to take us all to jail. I tell you what, we will whoop their ass today. Let them put their hands on any one of us. We're going to whoop all they goddamn ass. Police backed the fuck up. They backed up. And that let me know.
That's right. That's right.
It's our time. We can do this shit. We can do this. They are afraid of us. And we're going to maximize that shit. We're going to maximize it. We got to understand. There ain't no time to punk out. We got to be stronger and stronger and keep pushing. And keep pushing. Because all of this belongs to us. And we're going to get exactly what we deserve. And all of our enemies, we cleaning goddamn house. Let it be known. I'm not going to look at you in no favorable position. I'm not going to look at you and say, let's have pity. Fuck that. You've earned this destruction. And we're going to give it to you with glad tidings. We're going to be happy to give you what you have earned. You don't play around. This is what Black First is all about. Our people suffered immensely. And for what? Because God blessed you with the best of color? Because God blessed you with melanin? Because you are his and he is yours? We got to wake up and understand what got to be done. This is warfare. And we can't afford to break. We got to keep it strong. Sister Cassie, what would you tell our sisters? And what needs to be, how to keep them strong and how to be a helper to that Black man to make sure that he stays strong?
You're going to keep your man covered. I'm echoing. We got to keep our men covered. We have to help them to understand that no matter what, we got their backs, for one. And I wouldn't dare let a young woman come up to me and say, I don't need a man. You don't need to be in this group, because every woman in this group have a man. You know what I'm saying? And we know the head, and we're allowing our kings to be kings, and we're going to back them. Plain and simple. We're going to back you. Rather us being your security, or you know how, you stand in the front and the woman stand in the back and you watching the back, the man watching the front, you watching the back. That's what we do. We smell smoke first sometimes.
Right.
And when we smelling the smoke with our woman intuition, that's when you nudge your husband to be like, honey, I smell smoke. Well, which way? He may not smell it yet. Okay, it's coming from your right. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are one, because I may hear it and I may smell it before he get it, because he's busy. So the woman is quiet and we listening, we hearing, we watching, we steadfast, we unmovable. We're not moving. We got your back. That's what our jobs are. We teaching our children. We're going, and see, this is what we're not understanding. Our places. We so busy in the man seat. That's why the family jacked up. But the men have to understand that God placed you there. He put you in our head. He put you in the crown. He put you on top. We can't take that position. That's just like you carrying a head over here. You out of order. You look deformed. Your whole house is jacked up. When we put that man back in place, your family gonna line up the way it's supposed to be. The woman, then the children. And it's not gonna look so awkward. What's going on now is women have pushed the seat, pushed the man out the way. Well, the seat is empty. I'm just saying. Seat shouldn't be empty, man. We got you. Come on back. Come on back. We need you back. Take your seat. Because the woman is on your chair. She ain't supposed to be there. But the chair was empty. Okay, men. We need you back in the homes. We need you back where you need to be. Okay? Women, get off the seat. Let him have his seat back. You can't run. I ain't never seen a car with 2 steering wheels. You can't do it like that. You're gonna have it all over the place, right? So my women, we have to start teaching them. We have to start educating these young women. So that's what I do. Even every day, if I hear a young woman, I do it today. Even now, I look at them and say, "What do you mean you don't need a man?" I have to check that behavior. God put me on this earth to check young women's behavior. I can't check the man. That's not my job. That's another man's job. But these women and children, that's what we do. We have to start leading our young women to understand you can't do this by yourself. You got to have that man in that baby's life, that young man's life, that young woman's life, that little baby girl's life. You can't do it without him. You know, devil gonna tell you whatever, and gonna make that look like your worst enemy. But we have to understand we're not enemies. We're not each other's enemies. White folk have made us to believe that we are. Now we're looking at each other crazy, but we're not looking at them crazy. But those are the very ones you need to be looking at crazy. We got to learn that all of this stuff was set in order by them. So how do we combat it? If they say go right, we go left. That's how you combat it. If they say the sky is green, we know the sky is blue. Everything they tell us is opposite, period. So when they say out their mouth, blah, 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 that ain't, we're going this way. We're looking this way. Because they told you to look over there. You got to do the opposite. And it's up to us right now to will it back in. Will it back in, Black folk. Ladies, you can't do this without your man. We're not here to do it without our man. We can't do it without him. We need our men. And we can't do it without you. Plain and simple. I don't care how much you try.
Definitely. We can't do it without her. And you know, the minister teaches us a man without a woman is handicapped.
That's right.
He'll never reach his full potential.
Never.
Never.
And we so right now we going against right now we think we're looking at each other as enemies, which is so sad. I don't know how we got here, but I know a white person helped us to get here. We didn't get here by ourselves. We didn't get here by ourselves. And just like I'm reading that comment, we are the helpmates. That's what God placed us. We're not here to do it. We're here to say, babe, what you need, we got you.
Exactly.
We're here to even recognize our husband should not even be saying he needs. You should automatically know and do. That's how connected you should be. To where you look at his face and be like, I got that. Don't worry about that. I got that. That's that communication. That's that one. You shouldn't even have to ask. Because you automatically know. Because y'all done discussed it. You done talked about it. You're on the same plan. You're on the same, you know what I'm saying? You got this thing covered together. Okay, babe, this is what we're doing. Okay, this is your job. This is your job. Okay, I got that. And just making sure your area is covered. And even when you see a little slack because they concentrating over there, okay, I got that too. That's what we do. We take up each other's slack. Because I may be concentrating over here. I'm watching the back end. Okay, I got to make sure the back is clear. Okay, so I may miss something. That's when babe, hey, I need you. Okay, that's what we do. And the same with him. Babe, I need you to do so-and-so. Okay, all you got to do is let me know. Just look like you need some help. I got you. Period. That's what we do. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way it's going to work. And we got to communicate that. If you not communicate with your woman, for her to understand which way you're going, you are out of order. Because she can't help if she don't know. You got to say, hey, this is what I need. You can't be so busy talking to your buddies and you're not talking to your woman. Because who else? Your buddies ain't going to have your back like your woman going to have your back. If she knows that she can trust you and she feel that secure and she knows that you got her, she going to support you, whatever it is you want to do. But let her not feel secure. That's where the problem comes in. You have to communicate. If she's not understanding the assignment, which way she going? She got to know the plan. So you got to be talking. This is the plan. This is a 5-year plan. This is a 2-year plan. This is a year plan. This 6-month plan. You got to talk the plan. You can't just sit there because she don't know which way you're going. That's what I tell our women. That's what I tell the men. We got to get on. We got to get on board.
That's right.
But we got to know the plan. Which way you going? Which way you need us to go? That way, once we know the plan, we're there. I rest my mic.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent. We're going to pick back up with the movie.
Mama and your daddy said one day the name Kwame Kilpatrick will be known all over the world. I mean, being mayor is a job just tough anyway.
The 70s was a decade of enterprising ideas and monumental change. New Mega 747 jets were flying. The controversial case of Roe versus Wade was overturned, and Richard Nixon was reelected. It was a time for hippies and music lovers. It was a time for minorities that were stepping up into major cities like Detroit and becoming part of the political new way. Also during the 70s, an outspoken man became the first African-American mayor of Detroit, one of the first African-American mayors of any major city. His name was Coleman Young. He managed to beat out his white opponents, John F. Nichols, after a racially divided election, which recharged Detroit after the 1967 race riots. Throughout his 20-year tenure, much of his time was spent revitalizing the crime-ridden city by attracting new businesses and reinforcing the police department.
Detroit is a warning, if anybody's listening. A year after the riot, a presidential commission predicted that America was heading toward a sort of reverse apartheid. Poor black cities surrounded by rich white suburbs. This is the future they warned us about. As for Detroit's future, well, some experts predict another 200,000 gone by the end of the decade. By then, the only people who haven't left Detroit may be those who can't. Detroit is armed and dangerous. There are an estimated 1.2 million guns here, more guns than there are people.
I didn't have to kill my brother.
Last year, there were 400 children aged 17 or younger who were shot in the city. 40 were shot dead.
It's like a whole generation is being wiped out.
Are you proud of Detroit?
Certainly I'm proud of Detroit. I wouldn't be here if I were not.
Coleman Young has been the mayor of Detroit for the past 17 years. Is it a safe place to live, a good place to live, a good place to raise a family?
It's a good place to live, and I think it's safe as any other.
5 streets down, you got crack dealers, and you got people breaking in. They come down here, they see nice houses, they see nice things, and they want to break in. So, I got to protect myself from them.
Most big cities do have the same problems as Detroit, and in some cases, they're worse. Washington has more murders, LA has more gangs, New York has more racial violence. America's cities are on a dark and dangerous road. But you come here, and you get the feeling that this is what the end of the road looks like. Here in Detroit, we have seen two worlds, one poor and black, one wealthy and white, two worlds with their backs turned to each other. Here in Detroit, we have seen the future, and it's frightening.
There's not a body on every corner, and the average citizen in this city is not confronted with the fear of his life. To attack Detroit is to attack black. Politicians run for office by attacking Detroit, by attacking Coleman Young. The media gets headlines.
You're a symbol.
By running bad. Exactly. You got it.
Coleman Young doesn't like criticism, especially from outsiders. But outsiders should take a close look at Detroit and wonder, could it happen here?
My family moved here when I was 14 years old. My father was in the military for 22 years. After my father...
I want to hold it right here. I want to welcome Brother Bakari to the program. Peace and blessing, Brother Bakari. And also, I want to welcome Big Brother Roy to the program. Peace and blessings, Big Brother Roy. Coleman Young, and that was the first mayor, the first black mayor in America. He just made a comment and says, Caston, I wanted to get your opinion on it. He said to the media dude, when you attack me, you attack black people. What's your thoughts on that?
Wow. You know what? I'm looking at that whole little skit that we just saw, and they were saying a couple of things. Armed and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
How did Detroit get the way it is?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. How did they get there? Okay. It's so bad in Chicago. How did it get there? Where the guns come from?
Mm-hmm.
Follow the trail.
Exactly.
Follow the trail. I don't know if Coleman was good for black people or not. I don't know much about him. I was just trying to look him up. I did know a lot about Coleman, but I'm telling you, they let stuff go down like that for a reason. Mm-hmm. They let the crime be, it's not no worse than anywhere else, right? Mm-hmm. But they'll put that spotlight on that one that's trying. They'll put that spotlight on the one, and like I said, the one that the media don't like, or the one that they love, you better watch. Mm-hmm. But if you got one that they don't like, must mean he was doing something for the community. That's all I'm gonna say. Mm-hmm. But when you tell me it was armed and dangerous, my answer is who bought the drug? Who bought the guns and the drugs into that community? Mm-hmm. Okay, and when you tell me the white folk got it, but the black folk don't, why it's always got to be like that? Why it's you're in the same, you right across the street from each other? Mm-hmm. Why is it that big of a racial? Why is it a difference in the wealth right there? You understand what I'm saying? How white folk getting them and the black folk not? That's what I need to know. Chicago saying, why is it like that everywhere? So he said it. He said ain't no different than anywhere else. Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Okay. Any place you have a black mayor, a black governor, a black mayor, it's gonna be they're gonna show attention to it. They're gonna try to pull that black man because they want white folk running everything. Mm-hmm. Just like Mississippi. You got a whole bunch of black folk, and it's what? It's not 80, what is it, 85% black? And you still got white folk running it. Tell me why. Something wrong. Something wrong there.
That's right.
Something is wrong, people. You act like you can't do nothing without white folk. Shut them down. Shut it down. But then we're gonna hold black folk accountable. I need to see your area looking better than what it's looking. Mm-hmm. I need you doing the work. If we trust in you, we trusting that you're gonna make a difference in our community. So that's right. I do believe, Coleman, I think he was doing something. He was trying to do something. That's why the media was after him the way they was.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Let's go.
I got out of the military. He got an insurance business and decided to take a transfer to the Detroit area. 1989, I went into Detroit. I had a business in the Renaissance Center. I had to deal with the bureaucracy in the city just to have a business.
Coleman Young would not roll over. He tried to give black people contracts. My name is Roy Godwin. Roy, R-O-Y, Godwin, G-O-D.
So him giving black folk contracts, they didn't like that. That's what that was. So exactly. He was doing good for black people. Okay.
Exactly. The host of 7 Days, the internet TV program that provides news and information that's relevant to the people of the city of Detroit. Me, I came from Jim Crow, Alabama, when I was 14 years old. It wasn't racial tension on the parts of the people, of our people in the city of Detroit. It was this thing that they created, Detroit versus the suburb.
I got to see firsthand what it's like to operate a business in the city, and it's not business friendly. A lot of people moved out. They left the city. I think the city had a lot to offer.
The reality is there's no perfect politics. When politics serve one group, the other group always throws up a red flag. So I grew up experiencing being raised basically by a mayor who believed 100% in the city and the people in the city. When I was growing up, if you would have asked a black kid in Detroit if we thought there could be a black president, because of what we saw from Coleman, I think your answer would have been yes.
Peace and blessings,
Young's contempt.
Peace and blessings. Cassandra, Isaiah, everybody in the chat. And thanks for taking my call, Marie.
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt.
You touched on a couple of things that just I had to talk about, and she was right on point. She was talking about what are these politicians doing and what they're not doing, how we need to hold them accountable, and why. But I'm going to show you something. She said, how is it white people always, we want white people to be in charge? And then she used Mississippi for an example. I'm going to show you something, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody here ever been to Jackson, Mississippi. That's the smallest airport in the world for a metro area of about 700,000 plus people, right? The metro area, right?
Right.
The airport make about $900 million a year. You know why over the last 5 years it started making so much money? I'm going to show you how they do us, and I'm piggybacking on what Cassell. Because I talked about this, a lot of people don't remember. Maurice, I think you was on my panel one time we talked about it. When that water crisis hit, and everybody was talking about the water crisis, right?
Right.
Let me show you how they get us out of our city. What people don't know, in Jackson, Mississippi, there was a black investment group that gone to Jackson, Mississippi, and bought up 2 blocks of abandoned buildings to build the first black-owned technical college in the United States. All of a sudden, when they get things up and going and they get money, all of a sudden the water crisis hit. So then when this water crisis hit, black people leave. Let me show you how white people end up in the city. The reason it makes so much money now, you would be amazed how many, while we are saying don't go to Jackson, Mississippi, you would be absolutely amazed how many white millionaires from New York City and LA is going to Jackson, Mississippi to buy land. That's how they end up with the city, because if they make it look so bad to the rest of the world, right?
Right.
But they are telling their rich friends in other places, it ain't as bad. It ain't as bad as people think. We just got it under control. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
When y'all start to come down here, all of a sudden the water gonna get better. When was the last time anybody heard about the bad water in Jackson, Mississippi? The rich white millionaires start coming down there. They start buying up the downtown. They're trying to buy up certain areas. All of a sudden, the water don't lose pressure no more. The water ain't brown no more. The city never got the money from the government that this country gave that government. But somehow the water ended up being fixed when the water started to get better, when they started to come down there. And I'm going to tell you what they do. Jackson, Mississippi, a city, that black population with a black mayor. So they're making the black mayor look bad. See, because they can't even run nothing. And they push that so much till we internalize it, and a lot of our people start to believe they're doing it to Detroit. Now, Chicago is kind of a black city. It's not as black as people think, because it's more Mexican than white people in Chicago than it is black. But they have a black mayor. So now look what they're doing. Look how they're pushing in the immigrants and all that into the. See, black people can't run nothing. And they want us to have that image in our head. And I know on the panel in this chat, we know better because we understand their tricks, right?
Right.
But that's what they're doing, and they do it to try to keep power and just to say we can't do nothing and we need them. But then the problem is, it's too many of us that start to believe. See, we can't even keep the city clean. See, we don't know how to, without understanding the roadblocks that they do to you. Now, you got an airport in that city that make $900 million a year in the last 5 years. Why ain't they going to the city? Because the state had wrote a rule a long time ago. Jackson, Mississippi airport got to take care of this, got to go to the state of Mississippi. Their money. So now what they're doing, because Jackson is fighting back, saying that should be Jackson. So now what they're doing is they're trying to take Jackson to the Supreme Court to say the state should control the airport. And if the state control the airport, they talk about how much bigger the airport is going to get, the businesses that coming. What they do, they're looking for somebody they can throw money in their face and say, yeah, go ahead. If you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just like in Atlanta. When y'all come to Atlanta, the name of Atlanta airport is Maynard Jackson, right?
Right.
Most people don't even know who Maynard is. He was a black guy.
Right.
You know why he don't get love in Atlanta the way he should? I talk about it. People like us talk about it. You know why he don't get the love the way he should? When he was the mayor of the city of Atlanta, he stopped the construction on the airport and said, I don't give a damn if the airport don't go. If there's no black construction companies out there, we will just stop it now. He completely stopped it.
That's right.
To make sure he made sure at least 3 black construction companies became millionaires from that brother being mayor. And when he lost, you know what people like Andrew Jackson did? shunned him. He had to leave to go to Chicago to do some work.
Wow.
They shunned him. So consider, I'm agree, but that's how they end up with it. It ain't people like me. It ain't people like Maynard Jackson. It's not the real politicians that we vote in that care about the people. It's all it takes is a few people willing to take their dollars to sell everybody else out. You understand what I'm saying? That's all it takes. It just takes a couple of Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Petersons and say, I'm willing to take this money, I'll tell you what you want, and I'm going to make them look bad in everybody's eyes. How is it a brother who did all this for the community, helping build the city? Because I don't want to talk about, because that airport is Atlanta. If y'all flew in here, this man did all this, and now when his time is up, everybody turning their back on him. Don't nobody want to deal with this attorney at all. He got to go to Chicago. Don't that seem strange?
Very.
But Andrew Jackson, I said Andrew Jackson. Andrew Young also said the reason the KKK was mad with us, because once we made money, we didn't help them. That's why they was mad with us, the Klan. That's what Andrew Young. But on that note, I'm gonna get off here. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
But see if I have to call in and let you know you were right on point. Peace.
Thank you for the call. Right. Well, I tell you, even with what he was just saying, why is it when you're winning, Black folk don't stick with you? Why are you changing people out? If he's winning, if that mayor was doing what he needed to do, he should have been the mayor till cows came home. Exactly. See, this is what I'm talking about. Black folk don't stick together and support the good ones, right? You'll turn around and let the good one go and get somebody like Fannie Mae in there. That's the police is supporting her, the union supporting her, the attorney of the dude that killed the dude. You know what I'm saying? We don't have people that we can support continuously. We'll turn our backs on them. I don't understand that. He should have been mayor till he died. Keep on bringing them. And that's what white folk do. And this is why we have to understand their tactics. They'll do the water crisis, then they'll bring a whole bunch of crime, and then but they got that city on their radar because they're getting ready to run all the Black folk out. Then they're gonna bring the white folk in and gonna buy up their property pennies on the dollar. Period. And then they're gonna shoot the property up after they renovate it, get them loans to renovate it. Then they're gonna charge the condos $300,000 and $400,000 and $500,000 like they did in Chicago. Chicago was so bad, remember? Cabrini Green, remember? Okay.
Exactly.
They read all them Black folk and sent them out, right? Sent them way out, right? And now who came in and rebuilt the condos downtown? Who downtown? White folk.
Yep.
With $300,000 and $400,000 and $500,000 million condos. 500,000 condos. Come on now. We know the tactics. Exactly. But we're not calling them out on the tactics. We got to start calling them out, on the tactics. But I rest my mic.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we're going to pick up with the movie.
For the white suburbs has been a key part of his political success. Once, when the mayor was asked about enforcing gun control, he replied,
I'll be damned if I'm going to let them collect guns in the city of Detroit while we're surrounded by hostile suburbs.
To the mayor, it's quite simply us versus them.
He kind of drew a line at it.
Now, I want y'all to make sure you understood what this mayor just said. He said, we ain't collecting no guns. He said, we surrounded. The damn suburbs got guns. You think we ain't gonna have no goddamn guns? Now that's a goddamn mayor saying, no, because y'all come here with that shit, we gonna light your ass up.
And that's why they didn't like him, right there.
Exactly.
Right there. Because he was defending his Black folk. Ooh, I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. I love it. That's exactly why they didn't like his brother. We good. I like him. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Sit up there talking about collecting guns. Collecting guns when everybody else got their guns. Are you crazy? I like. We need to hear that part again. We need to hear that again.
Definitely. Definitely, because that was just so on point. My God, he letting you know we will fuck you up. You come in with that shit, we gonna light your ass up.
We got some for you. I love him. Woo! The man, they don't make him like him no more. This thing we got in North Carolina, that governor. What's that boy? Mark somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Lord, what have mercy. Woo! Father help us. That dude get up in here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now they talking like that. They not talking like this, brother. You understand what I'm saying? They're not talking like this. They talking like Candace Owens. They talking about this more. They talking like this Mark person now. That's who them white folk want in office now.
Exactly. Exactly. Those safe Negroes.
Yeah,
that's
the
the
safe
protect master and all his shit.
They ain't never got to worry about going to jail right now until they do something, till they say something like Candace did, and then they ready to put the hammer on them.
Exactly.
Asked about enforcing gun control, he replied,
I'll be damned if I'm going to let them collect guns in the city of Detroit while we're surrounded by hostile suburbs.
To the mayor, it's quite simply us versus them.
He kind of drew a line at 8 Mile and said, you know, this is mine and that's yours. And you want to come in, you got to ask.
That's right. That's right.
Over and over that blacks weren't able to survive in the makeup of white society. So Coleman, what he did with Detroit was he made Detroit an island. And we had control of our own destiny within our confines of our own city.
In this country.
Now, he just said, you want to come here, you got to ask. That's like Cassie Land.
Hey,
you don't ask, say, welcome in this motherfucker.
Hey, you got to make sure you got the approval first when you come over here. I'm just saying. It ain't the wrong. Ain't LGBT, you ain't coming. You got a white woman, you ain't coming. Don't even ask. I'm just saying. You look like Cornel West, you denied, access denied. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
That's right. That's right. That's how it got to be. Just clear and simple. Clear and simple. You understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Exactly.
Clear and simple.
Yeah.
And he was mayor for what, like 20 years? Like 20 years.
He should have been mayor to the day he died. They should have buried him in that damn seat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
As long as he was doing what he was doing for the people, and they voted him out. See, that's what I'm saying. That's right there just bothers me. When you got somebody good and doing for you, you're not used to it. You ain't used to
No, they didn't vote him out. He retired.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he retired. He said, I'm too old for it. I gotta go sit down. Yeah,
he
he
should
retired.
train somebody to take his seat. He should. That's when you train people, and that's what we have to do, you guys. We have to train somebody to come behind us to take over. That's just like us. We have to train them up, and that's what we're not doing. He should have had us his son or his cousin, somebody, a mentor, a junior him that took his place and could have still been doing what they need to do.
Yep. That's what we got to have. We always got to think about the continuation process.
Yes. And that's
the next person up. You got to think that.
Yep.
All right, let's continue. Brother Isaiah, you got something you want to add before I continue?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. White folk gonna be white folk, man. I think you hit the nail on the head that their status, their position, their way of life is being threatened when you talk about taking over politically speaking on a federal, state, and local level, as well as the economic realm of that. You know what I mean? So you have to be cognizant of that, and to be honest, who give a fuck? You know, it ain't like they've been on top all forever since they got here. They've always been on the bottom, and I think Sister Cassie will agree that they will become our footstool. I rest my mind.
All right.
Black people are victims of racism. It's not accidental that the cities around the nation that have the largest percentage of blacks have the largest percentage of poverty, have the largest percentage of crime, have the largest percentage of unemployment.
But in Detroit, blacks aren't just the
Can
majority.
you turn it up a little bit, brother Maurice?
Police, the courts, the schools, and City Hall. But black political power hasn't meant black economic prosperity. In my time in Detroit, I have driven and walked past mile after mile of decayed, rotting neighborhoods that look like war zones, burned out buildings,
I have
crack
too. And
houses.
if you've been coming in any length of time, those were there when I became mayor. And a whole lot of that's been restored.
There are also people that say that any white mayor who had developed the downtown area and let the neighborhoods collapse would have been kicked out of office a long time ago.
Well, that's bull. That's pure propaganda. Neighborhoods collapsed because half the goddamn population left.
In fact, Detroit, which at its peak in the 50s was home to 2 million and 80% white, today has less than 1 million, about 70% of them black. So now, when it's hammer time in the city, it's tea time in the suburbs. This is where whites went, taking their money and jobs with them. There are now more offices here than in Detroit, more stores too, so there's no reason to go to the city. The only thing the suburbs lack are blacks. One study called these among the most segregated suburbs in America. Suburbs.
Hold on right there. Hold on right there. Brother Maurice, did you hear that? Are we hearing that? White for one, they'll run in a minute. They'll take their money with them. But what I would do if I was mayor, I would start selling their properties for $1 and giving them money to fix up those properties. Oh, I'd get their ass. I would, and I would do it only for us. Give them $1 properties. I remember back in the day. Remember, they used to sell houses in I grew up in Indiana, and they would have $1 program where you were able to buy those properties. But I don't know. I can't remember if they gave you money to go along with it to fix it up. But you was buying properties for $1. But my thing is that could be fixed right there. If you're giving them immigrants all this money, then you could give buy the property for $1, and we'll give you a small loan, qualify you, whatever, to fix up that house, and you pay probably maybe $300 or $400 back for rent. That's an easy fix right there.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. And they were doing that. It's unfortunate. I know when I learned that they were doing it and I called to see about it, and they was like, man, the Chinese done bought up all them damn places.
Man,
Chinese and Japanese, they bought them up.
Yeah, ain't that something? Because they wouldn't give the black folk an opportunity. How you gonna let foreigners come in and buy up stuff? No, the black folk that's there, they trying to make it white again. You understand what they doing? They won't give it to you, but they'll complain about it. But then white folk that took their money to the suburbs, and that's what they usually do. So all of the Family Dollars and all the Walgreens, they move out to the back there with the white folk, and they leave the build. They leave the area looking just like that. It's white flight. It's still segregation. It never changed, people. It never changed. They do that all the time. White folk, black folk move in, they asses out. Period. I'm just saying. They ain't trying to live around us. We're trying to live around them. But you move in their neighborhoods, they're gone. You'll see their house up for sale the next day. They're not. Segregation never left. It never left.
And Maya says that Baltimore is doing the same thing right now.
Yep.
So they have dollar houses. And she says you have to prove that you have the funds to renovate and to live in the residence.
We shouldn't have to have the funds. They know black folk ain't got no money. They should give the loans. I'm just saying, if they owe Section 8, you ain't got no money. Okay, we got some programs for Section 8 folks. We got some programs for homeless people. You letting everybody else come in there and buy it up. They may as well let black folk buy up their own homes, but they don't. That's too good for them. They're not gonna do that. You got to come in there and prove that you got money. Black folk ain't got no money to fix up no house like that. I'm just saying, give us some money. Help us out so that we can buy them for $1. Then we can fix up our own and have our own communities. But they're not gonna do that though. They'll give it to the Chinese and the immigrants for they will you. Watch Baltimore be full of immigrants. Watch. It's gonna be full of immigrants down there. Them damn sticks.
Exactly.
Them Chihuahua people.
Mhm. And Maya says that they have rehab loans, but what is the payback
Exactly.
on that
Criteria.
loan? What,
Yeah. What you got to have, what credit score you got to have, what's the criteria? They're not going, yeah, they may have rehab loans, but they're not going to give it to you. They're going to give it to the Chinese and the Asians and the Chinese, you know, the other folk first. They don't give it to you. Else we would have been there, been gotten those loans. They're not give it to us. This is nothing new. We know those loans exist, but you got to have a 750, 800 credit score for black folk. But white folk don't need no credit score. They just come on in and get the money and keep moving. The Mexicans who buying a Ford 300. Let me tell you a story. We got a house next door, 300 and some thousand, right? Got Mexicans. I'm looking at how did you qualify for that house? You ain't got no license. You ain't got no social security. How did you qualify for that house? Who bought that house? $300,000. How did you get that house? Okay, I rest my case. Because I know doggone where they ain't got no social security, they ain't got no nothing. How did she qualify? They're giving these houses. They're not even allowed. They don't even have to qualify for anything. And the realtor, the mortgage person, slipped up and was talking about it, and I was like, hold on here. They ain't have no. I'm listening to her. They ain't got no social security. How they qualify? They got a whole other thing going for them, and we don't even know about it. But they're not telling you about it. They're not telling you about it. They ain't got no social security. So how did you qualify? Oh, so you don't have to qualify now to get a $345,000 house? Because I know that's what it costs. Because we talked to the lady. What you selling? If I asked her, so how'd they get that house? Oh, okay. I'm just asking for a friend.
Wow.
They did something.
Exactly.
But they not doing that for black folk. Everything about us, we have to struggle for everything. You gotta qualify. Well, qualify for what? Everybody else not using their credit, but they'll tell you your credit bad. You can't do this. It's only for black people they doing that with. They're not doing that for everybody else.
Wow. Crazy. Crazy.
Hmm.
All right, let's go ahead. Isaiah, did you want to jump in and say something on that? We know you on that financial tip.
Ooh, somebody said we got a reparations.
Yeah. Okay. Say that again.
I was reading a comment that said we got a reparations rally in DC on what June 15th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. On the 15th
I
of
didn't know
June.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Well, that's good to know. Where we find that out at? Where'd you find that out, Earth Angel? Okay. Cool beans. I'm put that on my calendar.
Who's having it? Who's hosting it?
He'll probably put it. He or she'll probably put it in.
Okay.
But man, my wheels are turning. There's no better feeling than having good ass motherfucking credit. My credit is excellent. I don't have to beg the motherfucker to give me anything. They send me a lot of cards that I just turn down, right? And it is so very important to take care of your shit, pay your bills on time. There ain't nobody stopping you from doing what you got to do. They'll put roadblocks in, like they white folks do with us. You know what I mean? But ultimately, we're gonna win. You know what I mean? And there's only 3 ways to make money: stock market, real estate, or starting your own business. That's it. And the sooner we can wake up to that reality of being responsible financially, and being able to put ourselves into a position where we can take advantage of situations and opportunities, because opportunities are not going to look for you. They're not. They are not. you have to be in a position where you can take advantage financially in order to improve your position. I remember when I was green at the time, and I was still green, coming out of that situation, thinking that Blockbuster Video was the way to go, and everybody going to Blockbuster, you know what I mean? And here comes the little kid down the block talking about, I can send you videos, you just got to send it back to me by mail. Well, that little kid's name was Netflix. You feel what I'm saying? 5 cents a share. That means every dollar you put in, you got 20 shares, right? For $1,000. No, let me take that back. 1,000 is 20. For $100, you got 2,000 shares. Just $100, right? Now I didn't buy it, and I've learned to look at a gift at every what we call in the market game changer. And like I said, I was green. But Netflix went from 5 cents a share, you guys, and you do the math. 2,000 times 700. 1,000. That's what $1.5 million for every $100 you put in. $1.5 million at the height of its price of 700 and something dollars. 1.5 million, and all you did was put in $100. That's not counting the stock splits and all of that. 2-for-1. I don't know how many 2-for-1, 3-for-1 splits they did. But the idea is that if it went from 5 cents a share to $700 a share, that's $1.5 million. So, and to be honest, there were 4 black women who started out with $100,000 apiece. No, I'm sorry, let me take that back. That's not true. They started out with $25,000 apiece. They formed their own investment club or group, and now they're well over $1 billion. So we are on the game. You know what I mean? We are aware of the game, but not too many people of our. And let me take that back because I don't know what that percentage is. A lot of black people or some black people don't know about the stock market. They figure it's some magical thing, and it's not. Or you have to go to a university and get a degree, and you don't. Just plain old common sense is what it is. So to wrap it back around to the houses and the $1 thing, that's an opportunity to do what you got to do. But like Sister Cassie was saying, it's hard as hell if you don't have good credit to get credit in order to rebuild that home to a point where it becomes profitable. But even if you have halfway credit, and especially how you know how the game goes, especially if you're black, more than likely you're not going to get no loan. You know what I mean? In order to get into that game, but there is the real estate side of that. You have foreclosures and you have back taxes. Nobody is standing in your way with that. As soon as you buy a back tax property, you got positive. I don't want to say positive income. You got positive. Damn, but what word I'm looking for, Sister Cassie, Brother Muhammad? If you can buy a back tax property for $5,000, let's say, and it's worth $200,000, you got $195,000 equity. Yeah, equity. That's what I'm looking for. So, and then you have back taxes, then you have foreclosed property, right? So, yeah, so the opportunities are there, but you gotta look for them, baby. You ain't dropping in your motherfucking lap. You feel what I'm saying? And the more, and then look, yeah, I'm just thinking right now. There's a brother in Detroit who's a millionaire. He was buying up property for a little bit of nothing, and now he's a millionaire. So stop fucking making excuses. Get your ass together. Get your act together. Pay your motherfucking bill. If your goddamn credit and shit, you can make it better. And if you can be like those 4 sisters, find 3 other black folk, 4 other black folk, or 10 other black folk who of the like mind, who want to be successful in real estate, or want to be successful in starting a business, or want to be successful on Wall Street, and do it. Combine your efforts, because there's more power in combining your effort than trying to do it yourself. You're multiplying your effort. You feel what I'm saying? And there's nothing that is stopping us from doing it. And there's some black folks in I don't know what part of is that Georgia or is that Atlanta where they bought all that land? And you know what I mean?
I think it was
So
Georgia.
I think it's Georgia. So put aside the bullshit. I know there's stumbling blocks and roadblocks that white folks love to put up. But at the end of the day, ain't nothing stopping you. I mean, it might be a little bit harder, it might be a little bit more of a grind, but in the end, we're gonna get this shit, and we're gonna put our foot up in the ass of white folks, man. Cause they look. Let me ask you this one. Y'all give me your answer. Out of all the bullshit we've gone through with white folks, and there are 2 things we're going with white folks. Do they deserve respect? Or do they deserve disrespect? Yeah, Brother Maurice, you go first.
To me, they deserve disrespect.
Oh, there you go. Brother Sister Cassie? Disrespect, right?
You already know. I'm trying to be nice.
So we're on point. That's automatically known. White folks don't deserve no respect at all. So my other thing is stop calling them white. Stop calling them European, Caucasian. And all of those belong to us. You know what you need to be calling them? Animals. You know what else you need to be calling them? Troglodytes. You know what else you need to be calling them? Urugu, whatever. You know what else? Tamahoo. That's what the fuck they are. They are not human. The only human beings on the face of the motherfucking planet is us. Everybody else is humanoid. Caucasoid, okay. Europoid, okay. But even that, don't even give them a whiff of respectability. Not throw it back at you.
All right, excellent. Thank you, dear brother. All right, we're going to pick up with the video.
Linkshbazz. Coleman Young was a man's man, strong, committed, intelligent. Not intelligent in the traditional sense of books or accreditation, but common sense, mother's wit. And he loved his people. He said, I was born black. I wasn't born a Democrat.
Coleman Young's credibility has been hurt by a series of scandals.
That's what we
The
need to
latest
hear.
involves charges that his police chief stole from a fund set up for undercover drug buys.
Look, man, I have been hounded for 10 goddamn years.
Now we're talking.
Allegations, rumors, and not one concrete charge. Now, after 10 years, you get tired of that bull.
Your police chief?
I wouldn't give up.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We need more like him. I'm serious.
There's been no findings.
Well, he achieved the name the cussing mayor because, Coleman pretty much kept it real as far as the language went. I think that, a gentleman from Coleman's time, that language signified the passion or, the true grit that he had in fighting for the things that he believed in. Coleman was in a city that he felt was an icon for Black life in America. And so he felt like, hey, I have to go out here and be everything that I claim to be. And excuse the English, but even in some instances, a nigga. That's what he felt. He felt he had to fight on that level and bring what he had to bring to the table on that level so that his white counterparts would understand that, hey, I mean business, and this is what it is.
You came in here to do a chop job, obviously,
No, I didn't.
and that's what you've done.
That's not true.
Oh, bull.
But don't you think
I'm through now. Let's.
why do you get so angry? Why do you get so defensive?
I'm not defensive. I am angry. I'd be a goddamn fool to discuss with you on public television an allegation, which would be the same as taking a goddamn stand. And who the you think you are to come in here and cross-examine?
Well, I'm loving it. Come on, I want to hear all this. Ooh, I'm loving it.
It's a question and a valid question.
You're out of line. As far as I'm concerned, the interview's concluded.
That's right. Who the fuck do you think you are to come here and question me?
Shut it down, didn't he? Ooh, I love it. I can listen to him all day. him and Khalid. Ooh, I love it. That man didn't know what to say, did he? Who do you think you are?
Exactly.
Oh, you know what, guys? Look. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was watching a video on YouTube, right? Just to talk about this guy was talking about one of the military guys or the spokesman in Israel, talking about how dare Iran think they can do what they're going to do to Israel, right? And Israel and Iran responded like, look, you bombed us, so we expect an ass whooping. We expect a slap in the face. And so this guy who was narrating, I guess, who was the host of his show on it, I can't remember his name. He was saying, how dare these motherfuckers in Israel have the nerve to even suggest that nothing is going to happen? You understand what you feel what I'm saying? That white folks have this deeply ingrained in them that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, say whatever the fuck they want to say, but as soon as somebody slapped the shit out of them, do you remember that? I sent that video to you. That brother at the pool beating the shit out them 5 white boys. You remember that? Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shocked the shit out of them. They were all sitting there thinking like, well, this one nigga ain't gonna do nothing. Beat the shit out of you, all of them. You know what I mean? So white folk got it coming in spades. They can't even fathom this shit happening. And my point of all of this is to say that once you begin to call them what they really are, once you begin to call them what they really are, they will get in a motherfucking place. Because right now, they actually believe that they're human. They actually believe that they're of the upper echelon of humanity. They actually believe that they Jew. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And they've been living this lie and this life of lies and deceit for a very long motherfucking time. And it is it would be devastating to them once the world, people of color began to look at them sideways and began to see that, hey, wait a minute, just like they're doing in the Middle East, they're not as powerful as we think they are. They're a bunch of bitches. Wait, hold up. We thought you were all this mighty, you know what I mean? And Israel ain't as strong as they. Wait, hold on, oh baby, we getting it on right now. We gonna drop the motherfucking bomb, not only literally but figuratively. And do you know that once the Arab nations and leaders in the Middle East come out and say, how the fuck are you fighting over land that ain't none of yours, motherfucker? You're not a Semitic? Do you know how much damage that is? In the press, in the news, on social media, that these motherfuckers been playing Semites and Jews, and that you come out and you say you ain't shit because you talk shit because you know you ain't shit. Do you understand the psychology behind that? The damage? Once the truth is known, daddy, mommy, grandma, you lied to me. I'm not white. No. I'm not Caucasian. No. I'm not European. No. Where the fuck we come from? Dravidian albinos. You come from Central Asia. We are the children of the black woman. You understand what I'm going with? You know where I'm going with this? These motherfuckers are losing their mind. They are converting to Islam by the masses, not 10, not 12, not by the thousands, tens of thousands of these motherfuckers. Because they know that sort of truth is on that ass. And they know the time is what? But us, Brother Muhammad, Sister Cass, the time is what?
It's done. Done. They're done. And even with that, Russia just showed you something, right? And them white folk, boy, them crackers had a fit, didn't it? Showed black Jesus. Woo, boy, them crackers had a fit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, they all been out of shape. They are all been out of shape.
Boy, them crackers, and that was just a little bit.
Seen some rough-ass videos on YouTube. Yeah, damn, these motherfuckers can't even accept it. They've been lied to for so long. They cannot accept it. I got to bow down to a nigga. I mean, Jesus. I mean,
what are other Jesus?
They still doing that. They look, Brother Muhammad, Sister Kathy, they doing that still in Europe. You try to show a white Jesus, they'll kill you. Literally, they'll kill you. There ain't no motherfucking white Jesus and baby Jesus and white Mary and white what? They still bow down to the black gods and gods of us in Europe, and that's the very reason why these pale-skinned children of ours started producing and fighting, because they could not see the God of us, of a black God, in them, because they were of a different shade. Do you understand where I'm going with this? And so they had a natural hate, if I can say that, against black people. And that spilled over into the only place where they could go and fabricate a white Jesus when they got here in America. And that was in the 1700s. And that took a minute, because you had to preach it from every step, house step, doorstep, county, federal, state, school. You know, it had to be an inundation and the psychological warfare, if I can say that, or psychological game that they had to play, not only on the white future generation that came along later, but on black folk. And do you know the King of Portugal, at the height of so-called slavery of the enslaved black people in America, he was blacker than me and you put together, Sister Cass. And he went down there and strode down there on his mighty black horse throughout the South. Do you really believe white folks told him, get your ass down from there, nigga? Oh no. They respected and kissed that motherfucker's ass. Do you understand me? We are the royalty of this planet, and each and every one of us, and I try to say this as much as possible, we are the embodiment of the black universe in human form. It's like taking a cup, going to the ocean, and dip it out some 4 billion times. It's the ocean and the cup, but each one of those is representative of each one of us, of that ocean. And so when we begin to see that, you walk different, you talk different, you act different, because you are different. You are the mightiest people on the planet. We civilized the whole world, not just because, well, I'm black, you need to pay attention to me because, my ancestors did it. No, we did it for the greater good, the sum and bonum of everybody on the planet. But then again, there was nothing but black folks on the planet. You feel what I'm saying? And then these knucklehead ass children of ours invaded, literally, our Eastern and Western Holy Roman Empire, pushed that into France, and all hell broke loose. Because that's all they know how to do is raise hell. But you know what? Just like we did in Egypt, we killed them and got them out. Just like we did in Greece and Rome, we killed them and got them out. And now, what they say in baseball, strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out, right? There ain't gonna be no more of that. I'm here to tell you that the handwriting is on the wall. We're done. We know these motherfuckers. We're gonna be not only they're gonna be kissing our ass and feet and being the footstools of us, but we're gonna be teaching this lesson to the future generation of our children, so they know in the future generation, don't trust these motherfuckers. You gotta kill them, because if you don't, you'll be right back to where we were. And my last thing is, we have to be aware that we are a blessed people, and the other side of that is a cursed people. Now, the curses don't come along just because we choose to be that. We choose to be cursed. Now, what's the curse and what's the blessing? United we stand and take over and be blessed. Divided we fall, as we have done, and stay in this motherfucking shithole. Now, which one do you want? Black man, black woman. And obviously, we want to be blessed. That is unification, political unification, economic unification, and spiritual unification. Going right back to Ma'at, where there has to be a balance within you. And that's what all these so-called religions are all about. Balance. Finding the way for you. It is a way of life to help you find the way of life for you. And I throw it right back at you.
All right. Thank you, Brother Bakari. I'm about to call you Brother Bakari. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. Thank you. And Mayette, I don't think the Russian is a friend. Maybe a associate or something, but I don't think it's a friend. Not at
Never
all.
call enemies friends. Never. 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 They don't look like you. And even the ones that look like you, they got to earn that position.
And you know, a hard lesson I learned, Sister Cassie, and it was, and it applied to Black people as well. You know, I would call them my friend, but they was never my friend.
No.
They didn't believe what I believed. They didn't want the same things that I wanted. They was never my friend. So when they stabbed me in the back, and I'm like, well, damn, how could you do that?
Nope.
I thought you was my friend.
You gave them that position, and they deserve it. Exactly. They don't think like you, or you have to vet even Black people, because a lot of them, they're cowards. They're not ready for this kind of conversation. This show should be packed, and it's not, because they'd rather go over there and kiss up Tariq Nasheed's behind and get sold out. You know what I'm saying? And buy up a museum that can't nobody even buy, can't nobody use, and by other Black people that sell them out. And they show them every day how they are coons, but they still call them friends. But then shows like this one, you can't get people to come because they're scared. Because they consider us dangerous. They got white folk, got them all twisted in the brain. You don't talk like that. You don't supposed to. No, you're supposed to think like we think, dummies. You're supposed to be mad as hell. You're supposed to be ready to burn some stuff down. You're supposed to be ready to be free. You're supposed to come up with things that, okay, let's try this to get free. Okay, let me watch this over here. So when we try it, we're going to do it better. We're not going to make that same mistake, because the next time we come, we're going to be fired up. We're not coming with just nothing, bow and arrows.
Exactly. All right. So let's pick back up with the video.
Meanwhile, on June 6, 1970, a son was born to Bernard and Carolyn Kilpatrick. His name was Kwame Malik. His birth was a joy to the family, but it would be only a matter of time before that same baby boy would grow up to fill the big shoes that Coleman Young once wore.
I think that Kwame had potential to be a coach.
Kwame attended Detroit's Cass Technical High School, where he made friends that he would keep through most of his adult years. He then moved down to Tallahassee, where he went to Florida A&M University. While there, he became a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, was captain of the football team, and ultimately graduated with honors in 1992 with a BS in political science and a teaching certificate.
That was a brilliant giant. Brilliant. And he still is.
But the political fire was already burning inside him. And it wasn't long before he headed back to Detroit. Lucky for him, his family had already set the framework for a great beginning in politics, and he was ready to make a name for himself.
Ordinary man doing extraordinary things. You know, closing crack houses, food and clothing to the needy, registering people to vote, and fighting injustice.
By 2001, he was the youngest mayor elected in the history of the city at 31 years of age. After a motivating inaugural speech, Kwame got right to work and brought some familiar faces with him, including Christine Beatty and Derek Miller. It took no time for the people of Detroit to fall in love with Kwame for his charismatic attitude and his dedication to helping the residents of Detroit.
You know, he was hired in the office to, make the city better, no matter who does it.
I voted for Kwame. When we first got in office, he did us so far of a good job.
I remember when Kwame first took office, the city was very divided. The older people was like, no, we don't want him, The younger people was like, yeah, Kwame, the city's about to be back on point,
He was one of the youngest persons ever to become a mayor at 30 years old. I idolized that, and I respected that.
He did damn good. We got free casinos, we got streets getting fixed, we got all type of shit popping off, but it's a whole bunch of rundown shit that just make us look raggedy now.
Someone that can relate, to what's going on, and we're gonna build the city back up.
But Kwame really scored the winning game basket when he brought the roar back to the city by bringing the Detroit Lions back to Ford Field and moving the Detroit Tigers right next door with Comerica Park.
When you look at the new stadiums and the things that were accomplished like that, we have beautiful stadiums here. We had Super Bowls, we had All-Star games. I mean, the city buzzed.
He knows where he came from and how what it would take for a black man to actually be successful in this, as Tupac put it, white man's world.
My name is W.T. Williams Jr. That's W.T.Williams Jr. Kwame was a breath of fresh air. It wasn't politics as usual or politics as usual. It was a new idea, a new age, political understanding from a younger standpoint, bringing a youthful thought to Detroit that would give us a new beginning. Immediately, the new mayor took action on revamping the city and became Detroit's starting player.
My name is Daryl Sewell, DARYL, we had the Super Bowl here. We got the city walk and so forth.
He was the man for the job. He had high hopes. He bought some things the other mayors couldn't do. Everything was good. I liked it, Kwame. I liked the young man. Yes, I did. I can say he did the damn thing.
From there, the mayor used his creative abilities to take the monies generated by the casinos to create a loan program to assist neighborhood businesses.
He did a lot of things that I think not only increased revenue here, but helped to increase the pride again as well.
Kwame also helped out new entrepreneurs by working with the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation to simplify the process of opening a new business, giving potential businessmen a real fighting chance to open a new company.
We were moving. We were resurrected. It was a spirit of hope going on.
Kwame also continued to paint the town red with new industry.
Building parks, fixing up parks.
They couldn't continue allowing him to do this.
That
right there. They was like, oh, hell no. That's what happened right there.
Record rate.
All them charges they brought on that young man because of this.
That's important, I think, for a city to keep thriving.
The mayor continued to work his magic by increasing sales in the housing market and property tax cuts to homeowners.
Our taxes now, has shot so high. It's crazy because you're looking at houses that taxes used to be $700, $800 a year. They're like $1,800 now, $2,100 a year.
He worked hard to pull Detroit down from the murder capital by cutting crime and tearing down vacant buildings two serious concerns among residents.
I'm a street nigga, so I'm gonna tell you the real shit. All this scrapping shit, wasn't none of that shit happening when Kwame was in office. And it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Motherfuckers was selling big dope when Kwame was in office. You know what I'm saying? The bag was coming in. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The bag was coming in, everybody was eating.
I really appreciate the Kilpatrick administration. You know, they worked good with us on these crack houses and this crime, all of that that's going on.
We cannot deny the fact that we do have massive vacancy. We do have some issues with our public school system. Detroit is not murder town, it's Motown. You know, Detroit is not the murder city, it's the Renaissance city.
This is the rise and fall. While Kwame was heavily supported in the city, the surrounding suburbs didn't feel the same about the so-called hip-hop mayor.
I suspected from the very start. I really did. You could see very early on, what was he really going to do? People want to hear, you know, great speeches. And when they hear a great speech, that seems to inspire them and they want to vote for the person, whether it has substance or not. And Kwame was good at that.
Kwame was known to wear designer suits and to sparkle with
You would suspect, wouldn't he?
to a rap star. Some even named him the hip-hop mayor.
We expect him to suspect.
And they had to think because he had an earring in. The reality is the guy has some vision and we were moving. And I think that was important.
There was definitely some deep-rooted tensions between the predominantly African-American city and the majority white suburbs.
Was he the hip-hop mayor?
And why do we think that was?
He wanted to be.
Why? When black folk thriving, they mad. But when they on top, they good. Gosh, I'm sick of them. Separate totally. Seriously.
Exactly.
Time to separate.
Well, I thought, Kwame, you need to grow up. Come on. This is serious stuff here.
He
And
probably has something to do with it.
You're a figure that people are going to look to solve a problem. You know, you got to act a little more mature.
Wait a minute, hold on right there. But they looking up to Trump to solve their problem, though, right? But when you look up to a black man, it's a problem. But they can look up to Trump to solve their problem, right? You see how hypocritical them devils is.
Exactly.
That's what we're gonna call them. That's what they are. Them devils see. They so hypocritical. When they doing what they do, it's okay. But let black folk try to help black folk. I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious of you because I think you had something to do with it.
Exactly. Like he's saying, oh, Kwame, you gonna solve the problem? He's saying, nigga, you ain't smart enough to solve no problem.
But he was doing it, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Until they brought that woman in. Where she come from? That's what I want to know. Who brought her in? Who introduced him to her? That's who you should be going after.
I don't know who introduced him because they don't say that in the film, but he hired
Somebody brought her in.
He hired her as his chief of staff.
Okay. But how did he meet her?
We don't know how. They didn't say how the connection was made.
You got to go all the way back. You got to go all the way down that hole right there. He didn't just meet her out the blue. There was a plant by somebody. Okay? There was a plant. Anytime black folk doing well, watch and behold, it's coming on. Here come a woman, especially a black man. Always coming down by a woman or some money. Always. But go ahead.
In the city, Kwame was also drawing attention for some bad decisions he was making.
Our first story is not a story about a city. It's a story about some Americans who may be sending a kind of warning to the rest of us. A warning about what can happen when bitter polarization takes over the place where you live. In this community, the rich are divided from the poor, the races divided from each other, and it's all compounded by violence and drugs. We're talking about Detroit, once a symbol of U.S. competitive vitality, and some say still a symbol of the future, the first urban domino to fall. And standing at the center of it all, a controversial mayor, facing charges that a lot of the blame lies at his feet.
I look forward to complete exoneration once all the facts surrounding this matter have been brought forth.
The mayor was criticized for...
we got to pay attention to how that cracker laid the shit out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
See that?
How she laid that shit out.
Yep.
He against us.
Right. You see what I'm saying? But why? Because he was helping his own.
Exactly.
That's why it was us. He against us. Well, nobody, he was building the city. And they had to, because he wasn't including enough of them. You know what I'm saying? He building up too many black folk. Them niggas getting built up now. We got to watch. They get too much power. They getting too much. They building their homes. They getting home. They getting generational wealth. We got to shut them down some kind of way. That's how them devils think right there. They always thinking how they gonna bring this brother down. And of course, they laid the trap, and he walked right in it. And it was a woman. Boy, I tell you. Okay, we saw how he was doing it. The next mayor, black mayor, can do it the same way because we see it work. They didn't like it because they saw it was working. That's all that was. They did that on purpose.
Exactly. And so, these are the things that we got to make sure that we're tuned into to understand their language and how they use, even the picture they showed with holes in his black holes in his face and stuff like that.
Exactly.
They're sending their own that message.
Right. And see, this is how we have to learn the tactics. We have to watch stuff like this to understand, okay, this is what he was doing. He was putting things in place. That's what that was. He was doing too much for black folk. So that's why they had to bring him down. But we have to understand who started it? Where did it come from? You got to understand that part of it too, in order for us to fight it, in order for us to know their tactics, their steps, and know how they operate and how they function. You got to see the dark side too.
Exactly.
First came a woman. He hired the woman. Should have never had no woman around him. You hire a man. Plain and simple. You don't need no women around you. Let's keep focused. Keep it the way it was. It could have been a man that you could have hired that could have hired, did that same. Unless he had a wife, invite your wife. That's who you hire, your wife. And every woman got to come through your wife before she get a job. And that's who she need to deal with. Your wife. Period. Ain't no woman coming dealing with him on no issues. She come through your wife first. She got to be vetted through your wife.
Exactly.
If she got something to say, she got to come through your wife to say it. Seriously, that's how you shut all that. You shut all that shit down.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
They know what they be doing. They know.
City funds to lease a car for his family, and then used his city credit.
I totally agree with Nama. He said, stop buying opposite genders if you're in office. Don't have nothing to do with the opposite sex, nothing. Because that's how they bring you down.
Massages, extravagant dining, and expensive wines.
It's not their money.
Listen.
It's our money. It's the people's money.
Listen to him, that devil right there.
All the politicians finally realize that.
Where he come from?
People start to do the right thing.
The mayor's office says the mayor, not the taxpayers, will pay for Smith and Webb services.
Too much money. I mean, everybody turn evil. Motherfuckers corrupt every day.
The downfall of what he was too young when he got in office, and he
oh wow, come on.
That's what went.
Y'all believe in them crackers.
In the end, Kwame would have to pay back $9,000 of the $210,000 in charges he accumulated.
Character is said to be the sum total of qualities. And every quality that goes into one's character is derived from a human experience. And so guidance is always necessary with the young. Kwame Kilpatrick was a young man, brilliant.
And he was brilliant.
All you need is for leaders is to talk about one negative. And that one negative will blind you to all the good.
But the mayor's real problems began after rumors of an alleged Menugian Mansion party started to circulate in the fall of 2002.
It's a story that haunted former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick's administration, the rumored wild party at the Menugian Mansion.
Now, witnesses come forward with explosive new testimony. He says the
Messed it
party
up.
did indeed happen, and at least one other
No parties. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, what you think, boy? You know we would.
Oh Lord, see.
Nothing but hoes.
Oh wow. Oh Lord, no. See,
Yeah. See, here's the thing about Kwame's whole tenure. It was a matter of him being omnipotent. I can do whatever. I mean, if you ever were a Star Trek fan, you know there was a guy called Q, and Q was completely omnipotent. He could do whatever, whenever. That's Kwame.
Attorney Norman Yatuma says this affidavit represents an enormous break in proving an alleged cover-up. For the first time, a witness on the record saying he was at the rumored but never proven Manoogian Mansion party, thrown by former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick in the fall of 2002.
The mayor is a young man, so we make bad choices. So I just assumed that his hormones was thinking.
Where was his serviceman at? You understand what I'm saying? Right there to stop that. What was the serviceman? Where was his other half to say, we're not doing that, man? That's not good.
And the plot continued to think, what's the
We don't leave you uncovered like that.
Exactly.
Do you not have an office?
I have to. Do you not have anything else better to do?
Go to your office. No, this is my husband's office.
All right now.
You have nothing else to say. You have nothing else to say. I need you to leave this office.
I'd have swept her up with the floor. Swept her up with the floor. Seriously, that wouldn't even been right there.
You see, when I'm not here, as the chief of staff, she holds things
does
down.
she not have her own office?
She's
right.
in business with my secretary.
She needs to take care of business in her office. Didn't we discuss this already?
He didn't back him up. I would be suspect on him too. That young man right there, he's very suspect to me.
313 story featuring me.
He knew Tammy Green, so he knew that to be Tammy Green who was providing Kwame Kilpatrick a lap dance. He says that Carlita came in, assaulted Tammy Green. I think the word he used was that she punched her, and that they collapsed on a coffee table, broke the table, and that Carlita used a leg of that table to beat Tammy Green with.
Yatuma calls this a motive for a murder cover-up by the ex-mayor, since dancer Tamara Green was shot to death in April of 2003.
Mrs. Green, I don't remember the first name. She was there with two other ladies. She was, she's a dancer. She was working. And his wife came home unexpectedly and started assaulting her. I think it was a bad.
She in her house.
Exactly.
How you hold on. How you assaulting somebody in your house? You assaulting this woman in your house, but you assaulting her. No, she was out of place. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. Why was she in my house? I'm just saying. See, where was his people that was supposed to be around him from stopping that woman from even interfering in his progress? Because we knew it was coming. And they should have been standing guard. Dude, she can't. No, what you need with him? No, go to his wife. Go to his wife. You come to his wife and tell her what you need. You don't come to in his circle. No. See, y'all, they wasn't on guard, was they? Nobody covered him. He didn't have no covering. Where was his covering? When you know black men moving like this, he should have never been left by himself. Five always should have been covering his side, every side, front, back, and the middle. Front, back, side, in the middle. Ain't no way he should have been that open for her to just have that much access to him.
Exactly.
No. And that dude that was supposed to be his chief of security or whatever, he dropped the ball. I blame him too. Saying I would look at him suspect. Why is she in here? Talking about, she was in here with the secretary. She ain't no damn business in there with the secretary. Period. That was too close to his office. You understand what I'm saying? So it's things that they could have did to stop all of that.
Exactly.
Because his wife should have been working up in that office too. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She could have been outside. I'm just saying she should have been somewhere around. Because you got to protect. Because you know women gonna be coming at him like crazy. You got to be standing. You got to be right there. Because when the wife is present, all them other women are gonna be very skeptical about approaching him. Because the wife is like, "Oh, hold on, wait, but what we doing?" You see what I'm saying? So you don't ever go anywhere without your wife. You can't. You gotta have that's your protection too. Because them other women coming, they're gonna be like, his wife gonna be there. Ain't no sense of me coming. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You in your place. You gotta have your people in place. And he didn't have his people in place. That's what got him.
No,
he had no protection. He have nothing around him, no covering, no nothing.
Nothing.
So that won't happen again.
No.
That's a cover. That right there is a tactic that we understand. Okay, with our men, it's gonna be a woman. or some, or some money. Okay.
Exactly.
But the money got to come through somebody before it hits you. Somebody
Exactly.
got to be vetting that money first before it comes
Exactly.
to you.
Exactly.
Okay. So you're never going to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to touch it. And everybody, at least 5 people, got to be signing on them checks, not just you by yourself. It's just things. It's things you put in place to stop all of this.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to do those things. You got to put those things in place because it's not a game. It's like Maya has said. She says sources say he tried to crowdfund $800,000 after being released and is channeling funds through his new wife. Feds may place a lien on his new home. They out to get him. Yeah, they want to destroy him.
Exactly.
They want him financially destroyed, period.
Because he can't come back then. Because he can come back now. Because if he ran, people would vote for him, even though he made a mistake. People would still, and they know he still got it here. He's even better now. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to destroy him. But guess what? My thing is, where's the people around you to stop that from happening? You ain't got no covering. Black folk gone. You ain't got no backup. You can't do this by yourself. If you a strong Black man like this, you cannot do this by yourself. And for you to even think you can, that's why you're gonna get got.
Exactly.
Exactly. You got to have some backup.
Exactly. That's just the way it is.
Plain and simple. You got to have backup.
Gotta have it. You gotta have it. All right, let's continue.
The Manugian Mansion party and may have been assaulted by the mayor's wife, Carlita.
It is perhaps the most notorious unsolved murder in Detroit. Who killed stripper Tamara Green?
She got caught up in some street shit. That street shit, is different.
A civil suit was filed against Kwame on the heels of the murder.
The latest explosive revelation came to light just yesterday.
I don't believe that there was one thing in this case that was proven on the plaintiff's side.
Meanwhile, former Detroit Homicide Lieutenant Alvin Bowman filed an affidavit in federal court on March 3rd, 2008, saying that he believes a Detroit police officer killed the exotic dancer, Tamara Green.
Tammy Green's mother has never wavered. Her daughter's killer, whatever the motive, she says, should be punished to the highest level the law allows.
I would like to see that person come to justice.
Does it bother you that it's taken this long and so far you still?
It don't bother me how long it takes. I just want them to pay for what they did.
But did her daughter pay for what she did? Was that her price?
Just days after I spoke to Brenda Green in May of 2008, the victim's family thought they had reason to finally celebrate some closure when Detroit Police Chief Ella Bully Cummings, in a hastily called press conference, said the department had identified a suspect. Strawberry, as the exotic dancer was known, had been killed in a feud between rival drug dealers and was not murdered in a scenario. Related to the hot topic rumor of Green dancing at the never-proven Manugian Mansion party, being injured in an attack by Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick's wife, Carlita, and, months later, gunned down because the strippers sought hush money from the Kilpatricks. The cold case police detective in the case is certain the killing had no ties to the mayor.
The fact is, I uncovered nothing regarding Kwame Kilpatrick's involvement in this murder.
Months of investigation had concluded Darrett Little D. King was the most likely suspect, that the April 30th, 2003 drive-by shooting, the attack on Strawberry's car, left her as collateral damage and not the intended target. It was an attempted assassination of the passenger, a drug dealer named Eric Mitchell. Now from state prison behind the walls of the Macomb Correctional Facility in New Haven, Darrett King speaks of the accusation for the first time and insists he didn't do it. You say that you had nothing to do with her death.
Exactly. I took lie detector tests. The victim said I didn't do it. I mean, what else could you ask for?
The victim said you didn't do it.
Yeah.
That is the survivor.
Yeah.
Indeed, the survivor was Eric Mitchell, who was shot 5 times, while the driver, Tamara Green, was shot 3 times. She was behind the wheel, closest to the street and the drive-by vehicle. Carlisle says just how many times bullets struck the victims could be an indication that the shooter was after Mitchell and that Green was simply in the line of fire. According to police, Mitchell is King's former partner in the drug business. Are you surprised that they named you publicly, but they haven't come to you with charges?
Yeah, of course. That's crazy. It done tore my life to pieces with that. My family, kids, everything.
King is now serving 14 to 25 years in state prison for attempted murder and other charges not related to the Green case. But for several reasons, Carlisle believes he should be charged in Green's murder. Among the elements of an arrest warrant, the white SUV that was the drive-by vehicle that night.
Little D's wife was in possession of a white Lincoln Navigator. That she affirmed in a statement also. All right, that by itself doesn't mean a lot.
But it's one item on a list of circumstantial evidence. The fact that King is left-handed, as was the shooter, according to witnesses. The fact that officers, first at the scene, said Mitchell told them Little D was the person that he was having problems with. And then there's the statement made by a big-time drug kingpin named Tommy Hodges, who claims Little D admitted to him he was responsible for the drive-by.
And Tommy Hodges gave me a statement about Little D approaching him and told him what had occurred that night. Now, one of the things Tommy Hodges asked Little D was, well, what about the old girl? And the only thing Little D told him, she was in the way.
Everything that Carlisle ever did pertaining to me is a dead end, and it's made up everything. If you look at the statements, you look at the evidence, Carlisle is just a crooked cop, and hopefully it'll come out in the future.
Do you think he killed Tamara Green?
I think he has something to do with it. In my opinion, I think his wife has something to do with that. I think his wife has something to do with that from my point of view.
Oh my goodness.
They want to make them a bad guy.
We just ain't gonna get it.
In order to make somebody a true bad guy, you have to have an absolute crime. Because in America, to be honest with you, when the crime only ends up in you getting money, we don't villainize you. As a matter of fact, you almost become a hero.
He might not have did it at his own hand. He might not even told the motherfucker to do it. But shit, somebody did it.
In this sense.
I'm going to stop it right here. One thing, you know, it's like, you know, you're not a child, so you can't be doing childish shit. You know, you handling the future of our people. You can't be hanging out doing nigga shit. You just can't.
That's right. Parties, no.
Yeah, you can't. No strippers and all this. No, you can't. That shit got to be left down way back. No, you got to progress.
Right.
Because you just can't do it. And so now the little black girl is dead. They tying that shit to him. Then when you lose the support of the common man and woman in the street,
that's it.
It's done.
Done.
You're done.
Done.
This I mean, this thing is something to peel back and deal with each level, because if you don't learn from it, it's going to happen again.
Of course.
It's going to happen.
You have to learn every level. You got to see how they operate. And we know mostly it's through women and money.
Yeah.
But you got to have your team.
Yeah.
A team you can trust. It might be a team of 3, but you got to have a team where you know your wife is there. You got to have that. That's your main team right there.
Exactly.
And everything goes through her.
Yeah. You know, I remember reading, because Kwame had wrote an article in the Final Call, and I was reading it one day, and he said in there, he said, my talent took me to places where my character wasn't ready for me to go.
Wow.
And I said, wow.
Wow.
I mean, Yes, that was an eye opener for me.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm looking at what he did, and I'm like, well, I'm learning. You
Right.
know, and when he said that when he wrote that,
yeah,
that my talent took me places where my character wasn't
Wow.
ready for me to go. I said,
Wow.
oh man, I said, I need to work on myself some more. I need to work on myself some more. And, you know, this was before I'd made any videos, did any talking or any of that. I was working on myself
Yep.
because I didn't want that to be my situation. You know what I'm saying? I had to be able to learn from what I'm seeing. And when
even
my
with that, you still gonna put up boundaries, you know?
Exactly.
Even if you know that I have a character flaw here, I'm gonna protect myself right here. You gotta be honest.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember when my father basically all my family heard me speak for the first time. You know, they were all blown away in my delivery and how I spoke it. And me and my dad was out getting some gas, and he was like, "Son, you gotta preach. You gotta get in church and start preaching. The way you teach, you had everybody up." And I said, "Dad, I love Black women too much. That ain't something I can do. That ain't something I can do." And he looked at me crazy, but I'm like, I'm just keeping it real. I ain't there. You know, that ain't my cup of tea. I ain't there.
At least he was being honest.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I knew, no, that ain't, I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for that. And you know, and it's not wrong for us to take inventory of who we are and what we need to do, because the work that we got to do is so important.
Yeah.
You don't need something to easily pull you down, because the enemy will pick and prod you.
Yes.
Find your weaknesses.
Yes. He knows. I'm telling you. Yes.
You will get it.
He knows. And boy, that thing be so simple and so slick. And you look it up and it's right there. You be like, how in the world that happened? What
Exactly.
in the world? Didn't even, you know, but that's why you got to have a team around you.
Yes.
You got to have some honest people and some people that's going to protect, you know, that's going to keep the harm from you. Money. That's going to keep it, you know, hey, we're going to do it 5 different ways.
Exactly.
You can't get your hands on it by yourself, you know. Women, okay, you already know that. If that's a weakness, you already know they got to go through somebody. They can't even, you don't even need to have contact with that, because you got to stay focused on what it is you need to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
But we just have to know our weakness, and we have to operate in it, and we have to have that protection. But these are good things, scenarios for us to be able to see, so that we can say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is, but we know he did it. We know it can be done. Oh, it can be done in our community again. He did it. We can do it.
Oh, yes.
Those are great lessons. Oh, it can be done. You know, but I would have more security.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Nowadays, I would have more security.
Got to. Can't be no other way. You got to. It's just what it is. This is warfare. And in warfare, that enemy was going to use everything that he can to destroy you.
Yep. And that white guy that was talking, doing all that talking, I'd have had him investigated. I would have that brother invested. I would know every piece of dirt he got on him. So when he opened his damn mouth, I'd be, brother, this you need to sit it down and back it up. This is what we moving forward. I'm telling you, I'd have all the asses investigated. Every last one. Every last one. Give me all the dirt. So when he start talking, set up a meeting with me and him so I can shut that shit down.
Exactly. You know, it's just like the football player Deshaun Watson. When he told the Houston Texans that he ready to go, he don't want to be there no longer, and he wanted off that team, the owner went out and hired a lawyer to go find dirt on Deshaun Watson.
That's something.
To go find dirt on him.
So he can keep him there.
Exactly.
But you see how they did it. That's how you have to do it. When you hear the loudest mouth talking, the loudest mouth, go show. I need all of it. Every last council, every last city council, I need their backgrounds. Every police department, every police chief, I need their background. Police officers, I need you to search them, search everything about them and shut it down. Seriously, you got to do that. You can't do that. You got to get on their level. They know dirt because they do dirt. You got to get on their level to shut it down. You can't stay up here. They just like that one mayor. Who was that one mayor when the guy that she won? He was the mayor and he was harassing her and he had her checked. Remember, I think we did a show or Forecast did one that he had her checked. The police came, checked her purse, coming. She had a weapon. They didn't find one. I'd have shut that down because he was harassing her since he lost the election. Oh, he was setting stuff up. Oh, he was harassing her so bad every day it was something. I'd have shut it down. The first time he tried it, I'd have shut it down. Him and I would have had a one-on-one. Come on in here. We need to shut this down today because we're not doing this. And she never, she could have brought him up on charges and didn't. Why not? That was your end right there.
Right.
That was and you didn't do anything about it. So he knew he had her. Okay.
Exactly.
You got to use them opportunities, honey, just like they do.
Exactly.
You got to go toe to toe with the crackers. Toe to toe. Because that's all they understand. And they back down every time. When they know you're not tolerating that shit, they back right on down. They know that ain't one of them. We can't mess with them. Shut it down.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, I found that picture of me and Marion Barry.
Look at there.
Outside his office. Yeah, we had just got out of that meeting. And, you know, he even gave me some clothing tips. You know, he's like, look here. See how you got your bag over your shoulder and you got the little keys on your clip here. And he said, nah, bro, we got to walk better than that. we represent a royal people. You got to come looking sharp. Don't come looking up here like that no more.
Well, he helped you out. That was good. That was good.
Yes.
You needed to hear that.
Exactly.
Who else is going to tell you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that day forth, you was ready.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Lord.
They say this is war.
Yeah.
This is war.
Yeah, it is war. And we have to be ready. And we have to be ready. Seeing that we know how to do it, seeing that, and oftentimes we think about what would we do different in Black Wall Street. What didn't we do? We need to find out what didn't we do? What would we do different even with that? Even building our own communities. You have to have security, armed security, period. No matter what. I see these brothers buying up these blocks with no security. I'm like, you're not doing anything different. And they did. One brother, he bought up all these houses. I think it was in Baltimore, I think. Bought up a row of houses. And as soon as he closed, they burned them down. Why you didn't have no security around that? You understand? Why you didn't have a fence around that and security? You know what I'm saying? You got to do better. You got to think above and beyond. What didn't they do?
Exactly.
What would you do different?
Exactly. Yep. That's the way we have. That's just the way we have to.
You got to.
Yeah. Okay, so we hadn't finished. We still got a lot more to show, but we already at the 3-hour mark. I don't want to hold everybody longer than that. But we need to come back and do a part 2 because it's very important that we finish this. This is just very, very, very important that we finish it because you have to be able to see every level. You have to be able to see every level, and you know, we got to do what we got to do.
Yes.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and move to closing comments. We'll go ahead. We'll let Brother Isaiah start first with his closing comments since he spoke less.
We didn't shut you down, did we, bro?
Well, I'm gonna digress and allow our sister to go because she's the lady of the house. So go on ahead, Miss Casson.
Oh my goodness. Well, y'all know y'all funny over here. Oh man. I want us to just take this opportunity. I want you guys to look and learn. Don't forget, this brother did it. But we have to also look at the mistakes. Okay. We got some pastors now that's on trial, right? TD Jakes. Okay. We cannot put ourselves in a position for them to be able to call you out. You cannot hang with the wrong people. You have I don't care if you got to stay in your house, just stay a monk. You got to go up on the mountain and stay in the house. You got to do what you got to do. If you know that your weakness is drinking, you can't come outside your house and be turning up. You cannot, because everything they are looking, especially if you bright, especially if you building, especially if you making things happen for your people. They coming. They coming. You gotta understand that from day one they coming. It's not gonna be 10 years down the line, day one, and they patient and they wait and they watching. So every time you step out the house, you got to have it together 100. Because if they don't, I don't care if they see that opening, they coming through that, they coming. Just keep that in mind. Day one, they watching, they looking, they studying. And as soon as you slip up, you write that, you sign that blank check, you're done. You point a flashlight at somebody, you're done. You have got to dot your I's and cross your T's when you're dealing with these crackers, because they already don't want you in that position. You don't do anything that could possibly connect you to criminal activity, because it don't take much. It don't even have to be criminal activity. Just like our sister took her 401k and bought her a property, criminal activity for them. She should have done it a different way. And we even need to talk about that. How else should she have done that? Don't touch it. Don't do it right now. You got to think about everything you do and run it past somebody. You got to have an attorney. You got to have a team that you running this stuff across. You got to. You cannot no longer work by yourself. Because sometimes maybe she wasn't thinking. But if she had ran it past somebody first, they just said, don't do that right now. Don't do that right now. Let's do it another way. You know what I'm saying? But because she didn't share that with nobody, she kept that a secret for whatever reason. Maybe she didn't. It's my money. Why I need to run it past? You have to run everything past somebody. You set you up a person, whether it's an attorney that you trust, and you discuss everything before you do it.
Yep.
But we can do it. But these are great lessons. We can never forget. We can never forget, because we're trying to improve on their mistakes. Not being they weren't careless. They just didn't have enough people in place to help. They didn't have the right people in place to help. They didn't have people around him that cared enough to say, dude, don't do that. You can't have that party at your house, because he didn't share that with somebody. Who he shared that to? Who did he share that with? Say he gonna have a party, and who approved it?
Exactly.
That chief of secretary that he just had, that had the girl in the office, his ass should have been fired a long time ago. The wife should have fired him. You fired, because you had that girl in the office and knew she was in the office. That's danger. And you know, he said it. Sound like he set him up to me. I'm just saying. Maybe he didn't, but it sounds like some cruddy stuff to me. You understand? You're watching everybody. You're watching everybody. And if they doing something remotely close to something that's could possibly bring you down, they gotta go.
That's right.
They got to go. You seen Trump? He fired everybody. Everybody got fired, didn't he? He didn't keep nobody around. If they did one thing, he fired them. And people say, "Oh my God!" They thought that was funny, but that's might be how you have to do it. You got to go through several people.
Yep.
In order to get the right people. But the first time they do something, you got to have your eyes and ears open. But you got to have somebody next to you that's going to help you. That's going to keep you covered also.
Exactly. Definitely. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah.
Yeah, let me say what really resonated with me and what Sister Cassie was saying. Hold on for a second. This cold is rough, boy, I tell you. I haven't had a cold, and I don't know how long. So I don't know how to act. Mommy, baby guy, you the man. All right. So here we go. This is what Sister Cassie said. Never forget. That really, really, really resonated with me. And it's about resonating and vibrating, sending out the correct energy. Because when you can do that, and when you can find that common thread, that connects you to the people, you can manifest everything and anything that you want. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's a undulating frequency, a vibration, energy that you bring out and send out when you speak, and more so when you think, and more so when you act, because that's the road to manifesting what you want. You think it first, you speak it into existence, and then you plan to work and work the plan. How simple is that? You know what I mean? So it's very easy to understand what we need to do as a people, politically, economically, and spiritually. Like I said 1,001 times, if you're a Christian, fine. If you're a Jew, fine. If you're Muslim, fine. But all of these are not religions. They are spiritual paths. Stop looking at it like white folks look at it, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they are doing, what they're talking about. That is our domain. That is the black woman and man domain. We must remember and never forget what? That we are a blessed people and we are a cursed people. In what fucking direction do you want to go? It's up to you. Individually and collectively. United we stand. Real fucking simple. United. Unionized. What word I'm looking for? United. Being united politically, economically, and spiritually. And don't allow anybody to break that. I don't care how enticing it may be for white folks and from your wannabe white folk that got black skin. It is very important to stay united. And when we are united as a people, there's nothing that we cannot do. And we are seeing that right now as we're speaking is going to be more prevalent. Excuse me. It's going to be more prevalent as the days, weeks, months, and years go by. And I'm here to tell you, within the next 5 to 10 years, black will be back in power worldwide. I'm telling you, Senegal just dropped France, and another country just dropped. You understand what I'm telling you? It's on the way. Gaddafi said it best. We don't have to strap on no bomb vest or shoot anybody or stab anybody. There's 1.5 billion to 2 billion Muslims in the world. 50 million of them motherfuckers are in Europe. Not a shot fired. The same shit that white folks did, but those Europeans that came into America were actually dark-skinned people. They got into the club of whiteness and said, if you do this, that, and the other, you can be white. You know what I mean? It's not no skin thing. It's political. It's not no skin thing. It's a economic thing. Benjamin Franklin said it best. We cannot allow I don't remember it verbatim, but you can look it up about how he expressed the lily whiteness of America that was growing, and he said more or less we can allow our nation to fall prey into the hands of those black Moorish skinned people, more or less. I'm ad libbing as I go, but you know what I'm trying to say. That the vast majority of Europeans were dark skinned people, not these pale skins. You feel what I'm saying? So overall, we have to understand that to be blessed is to stay together. How fucking don't make this shit hard. Don't. United we stand and take the fuck over. Divided we fall and stay in the same shithole. And as soon as we can start educating our own children and making them aware of what has happened in the past and why it happened, it'll never happen again. Never, ever. And I know for a fact, like we discussed on this show many times, Brother Muhammad and Sister Cat, is that once we as a people get a whiff of power, not a taste, nigga, a whiff of that motherfucker, it's over. Because we're going to want the whole goddamn plate and the table and the kitchen and the house and the motherfucking house. I rest my case. Good night. And before you even say it, Brother Muhammad, stay black, nigga. That's all. Stay black. Stay black. This. Oh, this beautiful color. Stay black. Black folks want it. They want it. They want it. But they can't get it, baby. It ain't them. It ain't them. I rest my case. Stay black.
Thank you, Brother Isaiah. Thank you also, Sister Cassie. I want to thank the audience for staying with us for these 3 hours. Normally we only do 2, but we went 3, and we're still not finished. We still got more to discuss and to go over. So we're going to look at about coming back out again. Hopefully tomorrow we can get everything's worked out. We got all the material. Just depends on what time everybody get off their plantation. But this is a labor of love. And I don't want you to think that what we're talking about can't happen, because it will happen. Oh, yeah. And it'll happen in your lifetime. It'll happen in our lifetime. It don't take a whole lot of people to make the shit happen. It takes those that are dedicated, who understand the mission and what must be done to make it happen. It's just that simple. We got to make sure that we do what we do. You know, we've said before that, you know, the enemy don't have authority over me. The only authority the enemy has over you is the authority that you give it. And understand, Kwame Kilpatrick gave the enemy authority over him. And that's why they were allowed to send his ass to jail for all that time. You got to realize it's time out for that foolishness. Right. Time out for that. You don't need that. You got bigger and better things ahead. Right. That you need to get ready for. Start preparing yourself now, because we're coming into leadership. This thing is happening right in front of your face. Be ready. You never know. You may get that call. Hey, it's Brother Muhammad. I need you. This is what we got to do. And this is the position I want you in. You get that call. I want to hear you say, yes, sir, I'm ready to go. Let's go. We fired up and we ready to take it. That's right. This is what it's all about. This ain't no game. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. They talking about manifest destiny. It's our destiny now. Yes. We're on the clock. We got to move up. We got to make it happen. But this is our mandate. This is why we were born when we were born. This is why. See, if we were born in due season. We were born in due season. If we were born in the season that it was just for harvesting, then we weren't born in the right season. Then the work that we do would not be successful, because it was the wrong season. But we're in our season now. We're in our season. So everything that we do, we're going to be successful. We have to learn from what was done so we don't go back and repeat the same foolishness. That's going to slow us up. And we ain't got time to be slowed up. We got to hurry. We got to push. We got to make this thing happen, because it is our time. And we are the ones that is on deck. We are the ones that our people are going to be looking to make it happen. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is our time. It is our manifest destiny. It is our day for our own rendezvous with destiny. This is what the enemy was preparing for.
Yeah.
And they're not even prepared. They're not even prepared. But we are. So that's why we say all the time, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black first. Today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.
Peace.
So you better get the message and get it straight.
You're going to need some bridge work. It's simple as that.
Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.
Do you know what?